No hard feelings.
I saw their Super Bowl parts.
A little bit, yeah.
First pitch of the game.
He's in Baltimore.
Yeah, he's a system.
Do anything but pitching.
Now they needed one though.
Yeah.
Where are they? Let's see where they are.
That's fucking horrible.
Well, I just want to see their pick this year. See what they possibly do.
Come on, contact. Just need to beat up stuff.
A sunny Memorial Weekend Sunday at Sinsheimer Stadium as the San Luis Obispo Blues turn the page on the Coastal Dodgers and now host the West Coast Kings for a Sunday matinee in San Luis Obispo. Hello everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. Nate Mills alongside Ryan Giacomini on the Ancient Owl pregame show on the SLO Blue Streaming Network, getting you set for the West Coast Kings and the San Luis Obispo Blues. And Ryan, yesterday was absolute chaos in the first inning. We talked with some players before the game. I don't know if they've seen anything like what we saw in the first inning.
Yeah, they were talking about how frustrated they were. A lot of people are here to just hit and get better and improve, and it's hard to improve when you're just getting plunked all the time. So I think it was 7 or 8 hit batters in the game total for the Dodgers yesterday. So hopefully, the Kings pitchers can find the strike zone and the Blues can bang some balls around the yard.
Yeah, and I don't want to show you up here, but it was 9 hit-by pitches in the entire game. And for more context as to what we're talking about, the first inning yesterday, the Blues put up 11 runs and didn't put a single baseball in play. 6 hit-by pitches and 4 walks, generating 11 runs in a nightmarish first frame for the Coastal Dodgers. After that, everything just kind of went a little steady for both sides. Both offenses went a little quiet until the Dodgers put up a 5 spot in the third inning. And Ryan and I will get into this a little bit more about what we want to see with San Luis Obispo, and we can just start right now with that. The pitching staff filling the zone. Mentioned it last night on the broadcast. That's all you can really ask for in the CCL. Yes, they're going to get banged around a bit, and for a team like the Coastal Dodgers, where that's happening against you, it's a little problematic because you're playing a bunch of high school seniors against college pitchers. You're getting banged around a lot. You don't like seeing that, but at least it's in the zone.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing across the entire CCL is more strikes just need to be thrown. More action will happen if the ball is in the strike zone more often. And the Blues pitchers through the first 2 games have done a really good job at that. No walks in last night's game, very few walks in the opening game, especially after the first couple of innings. So if they can just continue to hammer the strike zone, just force these batters to beat you. And if they do, give them their props and move on to the next batter. But if you're just walking guys, if you walk, 2 guys, walk a guy in a scoring position, and then you give up a weak single, all of a sudden you've given up an earned run in that inning. So, just hammer that strike zone and really make sure that the hitters are deserving of the runs that they're receiving.
Most of the damage from that Coastal Dodgers offense came against last night's starter, Hawk Hill, who is a famous Sonoma stomper, now turned SLO Blue for this summer. 3 innings there, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. So filling the zone, just got touched up a little bit. A relief pitcher's performance that I liked from last night was Jaden Turner, the Bulldog from Allen Hancock College. The strikeout stuff is there. An effective fastball in the outside corner. Mixed it well with the slider, too. You can tell he's going for the strikeout first on those hitters, especially when you're playing a team like the Coastal Dodgers. That should be your mindset. I liked what I saw out of him. Probably won't see him tonight. There is a large bullpen out there on the right side of Sinsheimer Stadium, full of pitchers ready to go. A lot of them high schooler guys, too. We got a note today that they will all be gone after the Memorial Day game tomorrow. So once the clock strikes midnight on Tuesday, no more high schoolers on the roster, and all the college guys will start to filter in. Another thing I wanted to talk about from last night's game that raised some eyebrows for Ryan and I is the offense's inability to really square up baseballs. And we talked to John Jordan before the game, and he kind of said it himself. I got to hit something on the screws. And I think that is a sentiment that can be spread around the entire Blues offense, especially against a team like the Kings today.
Yeah, I think when you just look at the basic numbers, the Blues so far, 17 runs in 2 games, that's really impressive. That's where you want to be in that offensive production. But they only have 8 hits. So you're producing a lot of those runs via walks, via errors, via hit-by pitches. And although it's working now, it's just not super sustainable. You're going to play teams that are only going to give you 2, maybe 3 walks a game. And when that point comes, you need to be able to have double-digit hits and still produce, 6-7 runs a game and be able to come out with a win. We're not seeing those hits so far, but I think it'll come around. Some hard hit balls. Brendan Comerford had a ball that was hit 100 just right at a guy yesterday. So some hard hit balls. They just need to find some outfield grass and produce some runs.
Obviously a big on-base percentage day yesterday for the Blues. It was pretty much guaranteed that if a batter was having a plate appearance, they had either gotten hit by a pitch or walked or both last night. Now it's time to hit some baseballs hard. You got the OBP up for the people looking at your stats. Let's put something in play and drive in runs the fun way. And they got some help to do that this afternoon. A new leadoff man, E.J. Royal, who made his name present last summer with San Luis Obispo, returns to Sinsheimer today.
Yeah, fan favorite, and hard not to be when you hit 360 with over 140 at-bats last summer. So he is an exciting name. He's back in the lineup today, and it was kind of funny because obviously here last summer, Nate and I were as well. I was standing up here, can't see any faces down on the field, but Nate and I were watching batting practice, and I see someone in center field who's moving a lot like E.J. Royal, and I go, I think that's E.J. Royal.
Yes.
And we go down there, and we see him, and we're chopping it up with him, talk to him about his season, and he's so excited to be back here, excited to knock the ball around the yard and help this team win, just like he did last year. I know he's excited too to play with all the returning guys that decided to come back, and a couple of them in the lineup as well as EJ tonight. So should be a good, fun game with a brand new leadoff in yellow today for the Blues.
That's right, all yellow uniforms. It's not a Mimosa Sunday because of the Memorial Day game tomorrow, but it is a semi-day game, a 4 p.m. start here at Sinsheimer Stadium. It's always a great conversation with EJ Royal, and we're excited to see if he can be the same table setter he was last year. Obviously, the bar is set pretty high with his 5-for-5 game to begin his Blues career last season with San Luis Obispo, but we'll see what he can do here against the West Coast Kings. Thank you for tuning in to the Ancient Owl pregame show on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Ryan Giacomini, Nate Mills, we'll see you back on the field in about 10 minutes.
Number 5, the DH, Jake Hicksonbaugh. Batting in the 8th position, number 24, the catcher, Gabe Vigil. And batting 9th, wearing number 9, left fielder, Caden Cuccia. Starting pitcher for the Blues today is the right-hander, number 27, Hunter Hammond. The Blues are led by Dean Traynor. He is assisted by Brian Traynor, Rene Regalado, Paul Teixeira, Randy Kosar, Shites Garcia, and Brayton Zeker. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome to Sinsheimer Stadium for their first appearance here, the Fair Weather 4. They are John, Mark, Stu, and Trego to sing the national anthem. Please stand and kindly remove your caps.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, John, Mark, Stu, and Trego. The Fair Weather 4. Here is the defensive lineup.
Welcome back to Sinsheimer Stadium for the first Sunday afternoon game of the summer. The San Luis Obispo Blues hosting the Coastal Dodgers for their first game of the season. Blues, of course, 2-0 after successfully sweeping the Coastal Dodgers on Friday and Saturday. Let's take a look at the starting alignment for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Gabe Vigil behind the dish, catching Hunter Hammond, today's starting pitcher. Brandon Comerford at first base. Eli Henderson at second. Thomas Kiesling over at third. Kate O'Hara back at shortstop. The outfield left to right, Caden Cuccia, E.J. Royal, and Don Jordan, with Jake Hicksonbaugh DHing tonight for San Luis Obispo. Here is the starting lineup for the West Coast Kings. Joey D'Amelio, the center fielder, leads it off with Daniel Polasek, right fielder, batting second. A.J. Martinez playing the hot corner will bat third, and Gio Martini, the first baseman, cleans it up in the 4-hole. Andrew Wilford plays left, and he'll bat fifth. Shane Saunders DHs and bats sixth. Rogan Bodie, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Batting eighth, it's Ben O'Rourke, and he's catching. Kevin Ferruta plays second base and bats ninth for the West Coast Kings. Oh, Hunter Hammond making his first start in a Blues uniform this summer. He was on a temporary contract last year with San Luis Obispo, and I can only assume he's on a temporary contract again here, making a last-minute appearance for the Blues. Well, he just finished up his first season at Westmont College down in Santa Barbara, and with the Warriors, he got a pretty solid amount of playing time. 30 and a third innings pitched, making 7 starts. 30 hits with 20 strikeouts and 15 walks, good for a 4.75 earned run average and a 1.5 whip. So we're trying to straighten that out here in college, in the college summer league here, and those are some pretty solid numbers for your true freshman season down at Westmont College, and nice to see him get some playing time right away. You know, he's something he was looking for this past year with San Luis Obispo. He's a local kid from St. Joe's High School, majoring in economics and business down at Westmont College. Here's Joey D'Amelio leading it off for the West Coast Kings, the outfielder from Pepperdine University. From the windup, here's the first pitch, and it's a fastball missing upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. First pitch is at 4:02 p.m. Fastball velocity at the time, 86 miles an hour. 4:02's today's start time, 66 degrees and sunny. As another four-seamer, this time in there for a strike. 1-1 to D'Amelio from San Mateo, California. Here's the 1-1. D'Amelio hits it softly on the ground left side. Sliding is Kiesling, and he botches it off the glove. A leadoff base runner for the West Coast Kings kicks things off in the first inning. Not the way you want to start the game if you're San Luis Obispo with a miscue on defense. They had 3 errors last night, 6 errors combined between the two teams, and Kiesling not starting off on the right foot.
That one will go down as an error to start off the game, and now they got to work with a runner on first and nobody out.
So it's Daniel Polasek, right fielder batting left-handed with a runner on first. He's first pitch swinging and flails it up and out of play on the left side for strike 1. Polasek for Los Medinos Junior College. Had some fun there in his 31 games played. Good sample size, too, and 109 at-bats. A 385 average, and slugging 541. 0-1, missing inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. He certainly knows how to put the hurt on a baseball. 10 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer to go in that 541 slugging. Average lead at first base for D'Amelio. Here's the 1-1. This one softly hit on the same exact area, up and out of play. Strike 2. Hunter Hammond working with the fastball, the slider, and the changeup, and a curveball, kind of the stock arsenal for the lanky right-hander. He's a big fastball slider guy last summer with slow. 1-2 hit hard on the ground. Right side past the diving Comerford for a base hit. Rounding second, heading into third is D'Amelio. He gets the stop sign. And a double for Daniel Polasek in the first inning.
That error comes to bite you a little bit now. You got a runner on third with nobody out. Good job by Don Jordan to cut that ball off as it was rolling in the grass to make sure that runner stayed at third. But a little miscommunication defensively so far, on the first play with Kiesling sliding to take that ball away from O'Hara, and then right there you kind of had some miscommunication between Henderson and Comerford on the right side of the infield to figure out who was going to be the cutoff home. They were both kind of standing a couple feet away from each other, both expecting the ball to come to them.
Here's A.J. Martinez with runners on second and third. First pitch is a slider that trickles in there for a strike. And O'Hara and Henderson are playing in the middle infield together for the first time ever. Also have a new third baseman, too, Thomas Kiesling. It's been Gavin Smith the past 2 nights, but he's getting a break today. 0-1. He checks the swing, didn't go around on a fastball missing inside. 1-1 to Martinez. A.J., a Livermore, California native, a utility player, and a sophomore at Cuesta. His first team all-conference last year in his first season with the Cougars. As another four-seamer misses inside, 2 balls and a strike. 43 games played there, 17 strikeouts and 19 walks, walking more than he strikes out. That's pretty solid. 356 batting average, 436 on base. Good bat-to-ball skills, 2-1. High bouncer up the middle. Eli Henderson on the backhand throws it over to first, but a run does score as they retire A.J. Martinez. An RBI ground out puts the Kings ahead 1-0 in the top of the first inning.
Just a really good piece of hitting. Understood his assignment there. Just hit one back up the middle, but a little on top of it. Couldn't quite hit it on a line, but nonetheless it scores the run, and now the Blues will bring the infield in to try to stop that runner from third from scoring.
And second run of the day, 90 feet away. That's Daniel Polasek who advanced on that ground ball to Henderson at second as the first pitch is lined into the Kings dugout for strike 1. It's Gio Martinez, one of the 2 left-handed bats in today's lineup facing the right-handed Hunter Hammond. From the windup, here's the 0-1. Fastball in there for a strike, popping out of the glove of Vigil, but they still get the call. And the velocity from Hunter Hammond hasn't exactly picked up from last summer. Still hovering around that mid to upper 80s. Seemed to be semi-effective over at Westmont. Another four-seamer missing high.
He has a good frame to be able to throw the ball hard. Maybe needs to put on a little bit of weight to create some force. but standing around 6'5", a lot of downward movement being able to be created from that height.
1-2, bouncer right to Henderson. He trots over to first and flips it to Comerford for an easy second out. And that's the best case scenario there when you have the infield playing in and a runner at third.
Just right to Henderson, hit pretty well, chopped to Henderson. He plays it on a hop and just flips it over to Comerford. Make sure the runner at third, Pulisic, makes it his way back to third.
He's still at third base as Andrew Wilford, the left fielder, now digs in. Took a look at ball one on a 1-0 count to Hammond. Low and outside, Veal slides to his right to block it. 2 balls and no strikes. Wilford from San Jose, California, entering his redshirt sophomore season as a Bellarmine commit in Louisville, Kentucky, playing Division I baseball. Missing high, 3 balls and no strikes. Didn't play his first season at Bellarmine. He actually redshirted there. 3-0. Heater missing high and tight for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Andrew Wilford puts runners at the corners for the West Coast Kings.
Hammond's had pretty good control so far, not falling behind in too many counts, but right there, just 4 straight fastballs, and none of them can find the zone. Just got to get one over the plate here against Shane Saunders.
There's Saunders, the DH, as the runner took off, and Saunders fouled it up and out of play behind home plate for strike 1. Wilford got a pretty good jump that time. The Blues are lucky that he didn't put that ball in play or even swing and miss, because that bag was easily stolen. There's Saunders from Rockland, California, near Sacramento. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Elevated fastball for strike 2.
Just a little late on that fastball. See what he does in a 2-strike approach. Maybe a little smaller leg kick. Get that foot down so he can get the bat going earlier and catch up with that fastball.
I'd venture to say Hammond might come back at him with the slider the way he's been throwing it the past 2 years. 0-2. It is the slider, and it takes it for strike 3. Well, Hunter Hammond gets the strikeout to end the inning, but not before the Kings strike first. An RBI groundout from A.J. Martinez puts him on top 1-0, heading into the home half of the first inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. West Coast Kings strike first on this Sunday matinee at Sinsheimer Stadium. It's 1-0 Kings as we introduce you the starting lineup for the San Luis Obispo Blues. E.J. Royal plays center field and leads it off, with Kate O'Hara playing shortstop, batting second. Brendan Comerford returns to first base for the 3rd game in a row and bats 3rd. Don Jordan plays right field and cleans it up. Thomas Kiesling at the hot corner batting 5th. Eli Henderson making his Blues debut, playing 2nd and batting 6th. Jake Hicksenbaugh returns to the lineup. He DHs and bats 7th. Gabe Vihol catches and bats 8th. And Caden Cuccia, the left fielder, rounds it out in the 9 spot. Now for the West Coast Kings defense. Ben O'Rourke behind the dish, throwing down the signs. Martini at first. Ferruta at second with A.J. Martinez at the hot corner. Bodie at shortstop. The outfield left to right is Wilford, D'Amelio, and Pulisic, with Saunders DHing. And on the mound for the West Coast Kings, it's the right-hander from Chico State, Josh Rhodes.
Rhodes a big frame, 6'2", 225. Didn't pitch this year at Chico State, but nonetheless a Division I guy. Not a lot of college players on this Kings team, but a guy who probably has some gross stuff if he's committed to play at Chico.
And a comforting sight for Blues fans here as E.J. Royal steps in for the first time at Sinsheimer Stadium in 2025 and is the recipient of ball 1. Rocking that 50 just like he did last year in his magical year with the Blues. 1-0. E.J. swings and misses at the elevated fastball for a strike.
I noticed during his batting practice today, he seemed to be hitting the ball with a purpose. He told us today that he will be entering the portal after his season with Utah Tech, and so now he has a purpose out here trying to get recruited and for his final season, and will hopefully, like you mentioned, bring that magic back to Sinsheimer this summer.
And after a great year with the Blues this last summer, it's a 2-1 misses inside, 3 balls and a strike. It's had a pretty severe regression in 2025 with the Bison at Utah Tech, batting south of 200 and slugging at 237. Striking out 27 times to his 15 walks, and that's a stark contrast to his year with the Blues. This one missing high, a leadoff walk to E.J. Royal. Ill-advised, it can come back to haunt you. E.J. last year with a 381 average to finish out his summer in San Luis Obispo. 459 on base and a just under 500 slugging, good for a 956 OPS plus. That's on base percentage plus slugging to give you that number. And those are just really, really solid stats that he just unfortunately couldn't carry over into his time at Utah Tech. So now it's Cade O'Hara back in the lineup after a night off last night. The former Texas Longhorn, he's also looking for a new place to call home this summer. Well, the runner on first from the stretch is Rhodes. He swings and hits it off his front ankle for strike 1. He's wearing that one well as he motions to the dugout, a sinker ball from Josh Rhodes.
Rhodes sitting in the high 70s, low 80s with that sinker. Not throwing the ball hard, but with good movement, it still can be hard to touch.
0-1. O'Hara backs out of the way of this offering, missing high, a ball and a strike. Cade started on opening night for San Luis Obispo, went 1 for 5 there and scored a run. Cashed in on the Gavin Smith long ball to left field. Royal takes off for second base. O'Hara takes a strike, and the throw is well offline. EJ didn't see it going to the outfield, so he'll stay at second base. And it just looked like that time Ben O'Rourke just kind of rushed the throw down to second base, and it wasn't even remotely close to Bodie, who was standing on top of the bag. That's the first stolen base of the season for E.J. Royal. Last season with the Blues, he had 19. 9 in his career with the Bison at Tech. A slider missing well outside to Cade O'Hara for a ball. 2-2 to the now two-way player, Cade O'Hara, who initially started his college career as a shortstop. But after a short stint pitching with the Blues 2 summers ago, he pitched at Texas a bit, and now he's tapping into that pitching skill a little bit more. Chases the high fastball for strike 3. O'Hara goes down swinging for the 4th time this season, and now that brings up Brendan Comerford.
Very early in the season, but 4 strikeouts in his 6 at-bats is not really the production you want to see from O'Hara up at the plate. Hopefully he can start putting the ball in play, giving himself a chance to leg out some balls or find a gap.
First pitch to Comerford bounces on top of home plate. O'Rourke blocks it up, and E.J. Royal stays at second base for ball 1. And Brendan was a guy who was looking for a place to transfer to last summer. The way he's been hitting the ball hard at his college at Ohlone was finally enough to earn him a spot with the Bulldogs at Gonzaga. And playing this summer with the Blues, with his mind at ease, I'd say a little bit more. Inside move, they tried to get Royal at second base, and not close there. Still 1-0 to Brendan Comerford. And it's just such a weight off your chest. You're, as a baseball player trying to get recruited by a school, you're just constantly trying to sell yourself to all these coaches, posting on Twitter, all your batting practice swings on video, all your game swings. Hey, check this out, check out these stats. And when you finally get that, yeah, let's bring you on, you play the game so much more free. 1-1 with a runner on second base. Comerford watches this pitch outside, 2-1.
Pretty consistent zone so far from umpire behind the plate. It's not a very big zone like we saw on opening night, but so far hasn't called anything. It hasn't been inconsistent with any of his calls.
Royal shuffles off second base, a sizable lead there, as the 2-1 is weakly popped up and out of play on the right side for strike 2.
To go back to that Royal stolen base, you just knew he was going to go at some point. I mean, he stole a bunch of bags last year, and he looked antsy over there at first base, ready to go and get himself in scoring position for Comerford.
He and Jake Hicksonbaugh were in something of a competition last summer for stolen bags. 2-2. Comerford off the hands, spins it right behind home plate and out of play. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Comerford. Brendan, his last summer was SLO, a .218 batting average. Got on base 30% of the time. In a 2-2 count, a runner on second, Blues trailing by 1 gone. Comerford hits it hard into center field. It falls for a single. Green light for E.J. Royal. The throw will be cut off at second base. RBI base knock for Brendan Comerford, and the Blues have tied it.
Just a really good piece of hitting, right back up the middle on the screws. EJ had to pause just to make sure it wasn't going to get caught, but then Rene Regalado said, "You got it, EJ. You are making it all the way home, and when the Blues score, you score." Pricing now in the ballpark.
And I talked to Comerford in pregame. I said, "Will you square up a ball, please?" And he did. 96 miles an hour, return to sender. So an RBI base knock brings in E.J. Royal, and here's a guy who's had his frustrations in terms of waiting to hit a ball in the nose. It's Don Jordan. As Comerford takes off for second base, and the throw beat him by a mile, but the tag from Ferruda is not in time. Looked like an awfully close play to me. Comerford didn't get the best jump in the world, and it looked like a good throw down to second base. It looks like Ferruda just didn't get the tag on in time, and third base coach for the West Coast Kings is going to have a chat with the umpire about it. The coaches disperse from the umpire, and it's still Don Jordan with a 1-0 count, runner in scoring position with 1 gone. Tied ball game at 1 apiece in the first. Peak at second, now 2. Rhodes kicks and deals. Jordan showed bunt, pulled it back, went around for a strike. And talk with Jordan because he's somewhat of a utility man. Originally listed as an infielder for the Blues, and more of a utility guy at Texas and in high school. Obviously has played at right field in back-to-back nights. This one in the other batter's box for ball 2. And we asked him where he feels the most comfortable. He said center. No doubt about it. Just no hesitation, center field. He said, "I'm going to be a center fielder at Texas." Enough said. 2-1. Jordan off his front foot fouls it into the Kings dugout for strike 2.
And I think for a guy like Jordan, didn't play at all at Texas this year, but sounds like he's had multiple conversations with his coaches over there at Texas. You know, he's coming back. They have a plan for him to be the center fielder in the future for their team, which as a player, just, you know, you get confidence from that because even though he didn't play, they have a plan. Runner takes off for third, and the catcher O'Rourke can't find it. Comerford will stay at third base as he rubs his glute on the slide. Stolen base for Brendan Comerford. That's the second time this season he's stolen third. He has really impressed us with the speed. We know that power is there. 15 home runs this year at Ohlone, but now he's showing off the wheels. And like you mentioned, stealing third for the second time. Reached first on that nice single back up the middle. Stole second, stole third. Payoff pitch, and Jordan sends it up and out of play behind home plate. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And I tried giving Comerford flowers for the way he's been running the bases in this early season. I said, hey, you know, last year I kind of chirped you for your speed, but now you look a lot faster. You're getting a lot of good jumps on the base paths. And he just kind of smiled and was super humble about it. He goes,
I won't take the compliment, but I'll take the flowers. 3-2. Jordan swings and misses for strike 3. Rhodes climbed the ladder, and Jordan went right after it. Like, soft pitch at 80 miles an hour, and Don just couldn't get it timed up. Second strikeout of the inning for the Blues. And now it's Thomas Kiesling making his slow debut. Kiesling watches the first pitch slider for a strike. And Thomas was a stud growing up and playing at Carrillo High School in Lompoc. Mountain League MVP and a Valley News All-Area Baseball MVP. 0-1, he swings and misses for strike 2. In his junior season down in Lompoc, a .404 batting average and a pretty hefty sample size, 103 at-bats. .517 slugging, and got on base almost half the time. 0-2, a fastball missing high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Uncertain where he will be playing college baseball next. No announcement anywhere about where he will land, but we do know that he wants to play at the hot corner. 1-2. Kiesling goes down swinging and strands a runner at third, but not before Brendan Comerford drives in E.J. Royal to tie the game at 1 apiece. Notched at 1, heading into the second on the SLO Blues streaming network. Rogan Bodie leading things off for the West Coast Kings, and he's first pitch swinging, sends a lazy fly ball to Royal in center. It fell fast, and he couldn't get there in time. The wind knocked it down and fell right in between Kate O'Hara and E.J. Royal for a leadoff single.
Not hit well at all. 71 miles an hour off the bat, but he just put it right in no man's land in between the 2 middle infielders and in front of E.J. Royal out in center. And it's a leadoff base runner nonetheless. Back-to-back innings with leadoff base runners.
Here's Ben O'Rourke with a runner on first now. A Walnut Creek native and a sophomore at Los Medanos Community College. Leaves this one inside for ball. O'Rourke was a first-team all-conference catcher last season at Los Medanos. 35 games played, a .347 batting average, .430 on-base clip. Off the hands, and he flails it up in front of the Blues dugout, and it'll land into the seats for a strike. No homers his first season of playing college baseball, but 9 doubles and a triple, adding up to his .435 slugging percentage. Good bat-to-ball skill for the kid. Really knows the strike zone, too. 16 walks to his 13 Ks. Not bad for a true freshman. And the 1-1 hits him on the elbow. Hunter Hammond with the first hit batter of today's game. And I say the first, implying that there will be multiple, and that's you can't really blame me for that because that's kind of the standard that was set after last night.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if there's not another hit batter at all in this game. So I don't blame you for saying it's the first First of possibly many. We saw, like you mentioned, 9 just against the Blues last night.
And Hammond in his 30 1/3 college innings pitched last season at Westmont didn't hit a single batter. And through 1 inning so far, he's already got 1. For those of you following in our as San Luis Obispo natives, the Cal Poly Mustangs are in the Big West Championship game against the UCI Anteaters. The winner gets an automatic bid into the field of 64. As the first pitch to Kevin Ferruta, the second baseman, is taken for a strike. And a huge moment just happened. Casey Murray with a 2-run homer to go up 4-0 over the Anteaters.
That's how we do it, Stags.
0-1 goes the opposite way into right field. Jordan's got it, and a stop sign is thrown for Bodie at third. The throw now sails over the catcher, Vigil, and the run does score. Some miscommunication that time from Jordan, who just let it fly. Everyone kind of put their hands up and just said, get it into the infield, and he just let it loose over the head of Vigil.
I think I don't want to give Don Jordan the full blame there because, he fielded the ball and then looked to the infield, and there was no cutoff. There was nobody to throw the ball to. Well, really, his only option was to just throw it all the way to the catcher, but just a lazy throw that ended up way over the head of Vigil, and it's going to go as a base hit and then an error.
2 innings, 2 errors for the Blues. As the 0-1 is roped down the left field line, it falls fair, and it looks like it's destined for extra bases. The leadoff man, Joey D'Amelio, cashes in 2 runs on the RBI double. West Coast Kings reclaiming the lead, 4-1, pulling away from the Blues. Back-to-back base hits in the second inning.
93-mile-an-hour line drive down the line at score 2, and all of a sudden the Kings are way out and ahead of this game, and there's still nobody out in the inning.
So now it's Daniel Pulisek, the right fielder, with a runner at second base. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. And these King batters are pretty much prepared for anything Hammond has to offer. The fastball, the slider, they're adjusting to it pretty well.
Be interested to see if Hammond goes to his other pitches. We've really only seen the fastball and slider.
There's another slider hitting the bottom half of the zone for strike 2. And again, you'd rather have your pitcher get knocked around in this league than to miss the strike zone, or really in any league. 0-2 to Pulisek, who doubled first time he was up, hits it off the hands and pops it up to the third baseman, Kiesling, who gets called off by O'Hara. And man, the communication has just got to get corrected for this Blues team. I understand that a lot of these guys are playing together for the first time, but it's kind of got to tighten up here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the kind of just the rule of thumb of baseball is that the shortstop is kind of the man in the infield. If there's a pop-up that the shortstop can get to, it's their ball. So that one was like right in between the two of them, but that's definitely a ball that O'Hara can call off Kiesling, and Kiesling has to know that, okay, O'Hara's got this. I'm going to go cover my bag just in case for some reason, he drops it and we have to make a play at third.
Kiesling just graduated high school. O'Hara entering his junior year of college. So a bit of an experience gap there as this one's hit to the third baseman, Kiesling, and it's off the glove, rolling into foul territory for a single. Here comes another run for the West Coast Kings, and it'll actually be a double. RBI two-bagger makes it 5-1 West Coast. And Hammond just getting hit around. It looks like there is one arm kind of dancing around that Blues bullpen, stretching and getting loose. No baseballs have been thrown yet. But in the meantime, it's Gio Martinez who grounded out to the second baseman, Henderson, the first time he was up. Runner on second, just one gone, a 4-run top of the second inning. Kings up 5-1. Off the end of the bat and sent into the bleachers on the left side for a strike.
Martinez is wearing 18. We just missed that from the 18 Martinez.
One look at second. Long hold there as Hammond now kicks and deals. Off the hands again and out of play again. Out by the Kings bullpen for strike 2. Martini from Brentwood, California, another utility man. A utility guy for Cal State East Bay. A lot of players from that conference in this league. 0-2. Fouls this one off again into the parking lot on the left side. Cal State East Bay, Ryan?
What about it?
Mascot, nickname?
Cal State East Bay. I really want to know this because
It's by you.
Yeah, true. But more so because I'm a big supporter of our Cal Poly women's basketball team, and that's where Chanel Steyers, the head coach, used to coach. But I have no idea.
The Pioneers. 1-2. On the ground right side through the 4-hole for a single. Green light given to Martinez. The throw from Jordan online and in time, but it popped out the glove of Vigil. Vigil now with the loose ball goes to second, and it will be offline. A single from Martini, who advanced on the throw. A 5-run second inning. Second error this inning for Don Jordan out in right field.
I think they're actually going to give that one to the catcher, Vigil, for dropping the ball. That was a beautiful throw by Jordan. Unlike his other one, it was a missile right to the glove side. And they're going to check third, make sure he touched the bag.
No call from any of the umpires.
Yeah, nobody signaled anything. But both head coaches are out on the field.
Dean triple checking with the home plate umpire as he slowly backpedals back to the dugout. And Dean's going to get his money's worth every single time. He's not going to shy away from any gray area of a call.
He threw over one more time, but they said safe once again.
So now trailing by 5 against the Kings, it's Andrew Wilford. The only walk issued by Hammond today. And he hits this one hard to left field. Cuccia ranging back, but plenty of room, makes the grab for the second out of the inning. Runner stays at second base, and Gio Martini, 2 gone in the second.
They're starting to see Hammond really well. They're hitting a lot of balls hard this inning. I think it might be time to get some arms going in that bullpen, giving up 6 runs. Your defense isn't helping you with the 3 errors, but they're still hitting the ball hard. They have 5 hits this inning, and then that line drive was hit very hard as well. So they're just seeing Hammond way too well.
First pitch to Shane Saunders, misses outside with the slider for ball 1. And I wouldn't mind seeing a new arm in there. I mean, you have the luxury of having as many arms as the Blues do. You can kind of just shuffle through whoever you want. 1-0, swung on and missed for a strike.
Especially when you have a bunch of guys who are, fresh out of high school, who are not going to be with the team any longer after tomorrow. Might as well get a couple of innings out of them today and tomorrow while you can.
1-1, and Saunders watches the 4-seamer down Broadway for strike 2. Saunders struck out looking to end the first inning last time he was up. A 1-run top of the first for the Kings. They've improved from that with 5 runs in the second. 6-1 ball game with 2 gone. 1-2 is crushed out to left field. Cuccia racing back. It's going to one-hop the wall and left. Run comes easily scoring, and that's Gio Martini. Shane Saunders trades places and makes it a 7-1 baseball game.
That ball was crushed off the bat, hit very well out to right or out to left over the head of Cuccia. 101 off the stick, and there's not much Cuccia could have done about that in left field. He was. The ball was well over his head off the bat, and it looks like they might be making a move to the bullpen.
Now we're seeing Dean Traynor come out there, and when you see the manager, that tells you it's time for a new noodle. We'll let you know who it is after this. 7-1 West Coast Kings on the Slow Blues streaming network. New pitcher in for San Luis Obispo. Hunter Hammond's day is done after an inning and 2/3. Surrendered 7 hits, a walk and a strikeout. Stay tuned on the runs earned for him. So far it's 7 runs, 5 of them actually earned, but one on second base, and Saunders will go to Hunter Hammond. And so now it's Sean York, a right-handed pitcher from Riverside Community College. 6'6" right-hander, delivering the first offering at 87 miles an hour above the zone. 1-0 to Rogan Bodie, who started off this inning and is the recipient of strike 1. Bodie led off this inning with a single and eventually came around to score on the Joey D'Amelio double. Comes set from the belt, and York now comes home. 1-1, nice splitter, swung on and missed. That was gross. Fans bellow for their hot sauce. It would be the second strikeout of the day for the West Coast Kings. A peek at second, now at home. Double take. 3 times. Now the 1-2. Slider, taken, strike 3 on the outside corner. Painting it with the sweeper. But not before the Kings tack on 6 runs on 6 hits in the top half of the second. Blues got their work cut out for them in the home half of the second on the SLO Blues streaming network. Home half of the second is brought to you by our friends at Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop, your go-to spot for every Blues road game. Located just around the corner from Sinsheimer Stadium, Ancient Owl is the official home of the Blues watch party all season long. Ancient Owl, choose your beer wisely. Leading it off for San Luis Obispo, it's Eli Henderson who takes a look at strike 1, taking his first at-bat in a Blues uniform. Henderson starting at second base today. Cade O'Hara on the opposite side of the bag. And Eli looks at a nicely placed fastball for strike 2. Henderson on a temporary 2-week contract, a native of Clovis, California, and yellow jacket from Cedarville. Here's a 4-seamer, looked awfully close to me, but just missing outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Played in 2 seasons so far at Cedarville University in Ohio and has been very productive there. 1-2, another misplaced 4-seamer on the outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A career .342 average, a career .490 on base percentage with the Yellow Jackets. 2-2. And Henderson with a great set of peepers, watching that changeup miss high, 3 balls and 2 strikes, working himself into a 3-2 count.
Yeah, and those aren't like inflated numbers or anything. I mean, 336 at bats. This guy can hit the ball around the park.
3-2, cued off the end of the back to Bodie, who shuffles and throws over to first, a little offline, but in time to retire Eli Henderson. Oh my God, Ryan, I didn't even say this. 74 walks and 34 strikeouts in his career.
Oh,
We're getting back to that when he comes back up. Here's Jake Hicksonbaugh for the time being with one out after Eli Henderson just grounded out. Hicksonbaugh, the night off last night, but started on opening day for the Blues. He's first pitch swinging and grounds it up the middle for a base hit. Jake Hicksonbaugh swinging at the first pitch he sees and is aboard with the knock.
first hit of the season for Hicksonbaugh after a rough day on opening day, going 0 for 5. But he figures it out there, and there's a runner on now for Vigil and Cuccia.
So it's Gabe Vigil, who just graduated from San Luis Obispo High School, just about 5-minute drive here from Sinsheimer Stadium. Will play at Cuesta College next year as they pick over to first. It won't be in time to get Hicksonbaugh. Vigil, last season with the Tigers at SLO High, hit his first career high school homer as Hicksy takes off for second base. Here's the throw. One hops to second. It's not in time. Looked awfully close. Bang, bang play, but a stolen bag for Hicksonbaugh. Now a runner in scoring position for Vigil. And these two, Hicksonbaugh and Vigil, played at Foing schools in high school. Hicksonbaugh, a Greyhound from Atascadero, and Vigil, a Tiger from SLO. 1-0. Gabe watches that slider hitting the outside corner for a strike.
I got to say, Hicksonbaugh has incredible speed out there on the base pass, but kind of an unnecessary spot to steal. He makes it there safely, but had he not, you just take yourself off the base pass down 6. That's not necessarily what the coaches would like to see.
So far in the start of the summer, before conference play starts in the CCL, coaches have been pretty lax about when players take off towards the bag or if they bunt or not. And Hicksonbaugh had taken advantage of that as he aggressively took a secondary to third. Snap back throw to the bag is not in time, but another close call there for Jake Hicksonbaugh. And an unfortunate update on that Big West Championship game. UC Irvine with a home run to tie it at 4 in the bottom of the 6th. Here's a 3-1 here at Sinsheimer, and that will be ball 4 to Vigil. First plate appearance in a Blues uniform in this 2025 season, and Gabe Vigil draws the second walk of the day for the Blues.
2 on with 1 out. The Blues are in business. Cuccia, who we know can hit the ball around the park, and then E.J. Royal and the rest of the order following. Cuccia could get on a base hit, maybe score a run, a walk, or something like that, and just flip this lineup over with a couple runners on and 1 out. Blues could get a couple of those runs back that they gave up in the top of the second.
So it's Caden Cuccia from Orchid, down the road from Santa Maria. Went to Rigetti High School across the street from St. Joe's and had a successful year at Kenyatta College. Surprisingly, he couldn't find any accolades for Cuccia. Batted .300 his first year playing college baseball. Here he is with runners on first and second, and the first pitch changeup low and outside for a ball. Played in 38 games, nearly every game there for Kenyatta College. On base .439. 30 walks to his 23 strikeouts. 1-0, Cuccia spins out of the way of the slider for ball 2.
We saw that with Henderson, too, more walks and strikeouts. It's just so rare to see in the game nowadays with how much coaches emphasize, swinging hard, hitting the ball hard, and, not really worrying about those strikeout numbers as long as you can produce extra base hits.
2-0. Cuccia watches the four-seamer down the plate for a strike. And Caden had 38 hits, 10 of them for extra bases. They were all doubles. Stole 17 bags, too. His first season at Kenyatta. 2-1. And Cuccia spits on that one inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count with E.J. Royal looming on deck. Cuccia in his first plate appearance this afternoon for the Blues. A rest day yesterday, like many in this lineup. 3-1 hit hard to the first baseman. Nice play, diving to his right, flipping it over to the pitcher on the bag, and they retire Cuccia. Martini acrobatics over at first base to keep that in play.
It was a remarkable play. Take another look at it. I mean, it looked pretty routine, but then it took a wicked hop right on the infield grass, and that's the wrong replay there. Here it is instead. But that was just incredible that he was able to make that dive, get the glove up, and then flip it over to first and still get Cuccia, who was racing down the line.
And Cuccia with some serious speed, too. Talked about the 17 stolen bags he had at Kenyatta last season. So now it's Royal with 2 runners in scoring position, and he looks at the first pitch slider on the low and outside corner for a strike. A questionable call, but EJ will move on to the AB. Royal, I mean, one of the best at everything last year for San Luis Obispo. A clutch guy. Want to be clutch again, and he gets hit by a pitch. Off the front hip, E.J. Royal loads the bases on the HBP.
Now O'Hara comes up in what might be his biggest at-bat as a Blue so far. Not a huge situation. Down 6 in the bottom of the second, though. You would like to be able to produce a couple of runs. And the Blues are looking for him to come through clutch.
As we said before, O'Hara played for the Blues a couple of summers ago and primarily played shortstop with an absolute hose. And he closed the game when Dean Traynor ran out of pitchers one evening, and has kind of been a two-way ever since. Here he is with the bases loaded and watches the first pitch off speed below the zone for ball 1. Kind of had his offensive struggles for the Blues 2 summers ago, batting south of 200. And on OPS of 469, 1-0. O'Hara watches this one low once again, 2 balls and no strikes. But pitched in 4 innings for Traynor. Allowed just 2 hits and 3 strikeouts with just a 1 walk. 2-0 to O'Hara. Cade checks the swing, and it's called a strike anyway. Didn't play this past season at Texas. Struggled with playing time a year prior as well. Was redshirted just a few days before the start of the new season. 2-1. O'Hara leaves that one inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. You talk about guys that are playing summer ball with a purpose this year. There are a handful of those guys. E.J. Royal is one over at first base as he enters the portal. Cade O'Hara is one who's in the portal, former D1 player. Slider taken for a strike, fills it up at 3-2. Jake Hicksenbaugh, another one of those guys too, trying to find a new college.
Big pitch here. All 3 runners will be moving with the full count and 2 outs, and single will for sure score 2.
On the pitch, there they go, 3-2, taken outside, and a run is walked in from Josh Rhodes.
Very productive at-bat there from O'Hara. Make Rhodes throw 6 pitches, score the run, move it along to Comerford, who already has a hit and an RBI in today's game.
Saw a lot of pitches and was disciplined on all of them. Makes it a 7-2 ball game, and the Blues just scored a run in the most Blues way possible. Comerford swings at the first pitch and fouls it off his foot. Writhing in pain in the batter's box. He'll be okay. But taking a few breaths as he slowly gets up. Oof, it hurts bad. You feel like you completely shattered your shin or your foot, but after a while it starts to feel a bit better. But that initial pain is different. It looks really scary at first, but Comerford will be fine. So it's a long strike 1 as Comerford regains himself and hobbles back to the batter's box. And he's had a tough weekend in terms of being hit by baseballs. He was hit on a throw down to third when he tried to steal third.
In the helmet.
Got hit on the side, I believe, too, trying to steal second.
Mm-hmm.
He was hit by a pitch last night against the Dodgers. And he just hit one off his shin or front foot. He's back in the box on the 0-1. Comerford sends it straight back, just missing it for strike 2.
He's been getting beat up these first couple of games, but no one to blame but himself for that last one, at least. Nobody's hitting him in the head while he's stealing bags. He was a little bit inside of that one and fouled it off himself.
0-2. Comerford watch an awfully close pitch on the outside corner for a ball. Got away with that one on the slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Comerford hits it hard through the 5-5 hole, a base hit. 1 run comes in to score. Here's the green light for Royal. There is no throw. 2-run single for Brendan Comerford.
Might have caught a break on that 2-strike pitch, and then he slams one through the left side, and E.J. Royal was getting the go-ahead the whole time, as they have so much faith in his ability to run the bases, and the Blues cut the lead down to just 3 after giving up a 6 spot in the top half of the inning.
O'Hara only moved up to second base, and quickly the Kings will move to a new left-hander in the bottom of the second inning. 7-4 West Coast Kings will introduce you to the new Southpaw after this on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. New pitcher for the West Coast Kings as Don Jordan steps up to the plate for the second time today. It's Bruno Condit. Last season for the Mariners of College of Marin, made 15 appearances, 45 innings pitched, a 7.6 strikeout per 9. As both runners take off and the pitch is bobbled by O'Rourke at the plate, there's no throw. Successful double steal puts 2 runners in scoring position.
Big 90 feet there for the Blues. Now a base hit from Don Jordan would give the Blues 2 more runs and cut this lead down to just 1.
Jordan struck out swinging the first time he was up in the first inning. 1-0, a slider missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Jordan had a hit in his first at-bat ever as a Blue, an infield hit, but I think you mentioned his first time up, he really wants to square up a baseball using a torpedo bat up there. And now would be a great time to square up his first baseball for the Blues.
2-0 to Jordan, and a wild hack and a miss for a strike. 86 miles an hour on the outside, 2-1 to Don Jordan. The torpedo bats were the talk of the town at the start of the Major League Baseball season, and those conversations have quickly died down after it was debunked that it is in fact not cheating. 2-1. Jordan leaves it high, 3 balls and 1 strike. It's designed for guys like Jordan, whose swing path has the barrel a little farther down the bat. And it's kind of funny. How did they not think of that sooner?
Yeah. especially with how much analytical stuff there is in baseball, how would they not think to just alter the way a bat looks to make it work better for some hitters?
3-1 to Jordan. Watches that one for a strike. Close pitch, 87 on the bottom half of the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got to be tough with 2 now with 2 gone. Base runners moving on the swing. O'Hara at third and Comerford at second. Jordan representing the tying run at home plates. 3-2. And Don watches ball 4. Very, very close take from Don Jordan, and he is awarded the base on balls.
According to our technology, that pitch was a little high. Oh, good take by Jordan.
Another update here from Fullerton, California in the Big West Baseball Championship. Cal Poly has taken the lead. 5-4 against the UC Irvine Anteaters, the 12th ranked team in the country. The first pitch missing high to Thomas Kiesling for a ball.
Poly is a team that's on the bubble to make the national tournament. It starts in just a few days, but a win here would grant them an automatic bid.
1-0. Checked his swing. Didn't matter. It was a called strike anyway at 88 miles an hour. 1-1 to Thomas Kiesling, who struck out swinging to end the first. And it's a lot easier when you don't have to play the whole bracketology game, right?
Yeah. And, you know, if Poly were to win, UCI would be a shoo-in for the tournament.
1-1. And Kiesling softly hits it off his hands. The third baseman Martinez charges it. Nice throw over to first in time. And the side is retired, but not before the Blues tack on a 3-piece in the bottom half of the second. 7-4 West Coast Kings heading into the third on the Slow Blues streaming network. Eight, 9-1 due up for the West Coast Kings. It's Sean York back out there for another inning of work. First pitch missing inside to Ben O'Rourke. Almost threw his elbow out there, trying to sell like it hit him. But the Oscar will not go to him. It's taken for ball 1. O'Rourke was hit by a pitch in the second inning in his first plate appearance, though. 1-0. And Ben breaks his bat on a slow roller that trickles in foul territory. Comerford waits for it to stop rolling. In foul ground, he gloves it. And now a new piece of lumber needed for O'Rourke, the catcher. That was a weird sound. I've never heard a bat break like that before.
Yeah, I was looking down at my scorebook, so when I looked up and I heard that sound and looked up, and I was a little surprised to see that it was a broken bat. Very interesting sound.
It sounded like hollow almost.
Yeah.
A new piece of lumber needed, and rest in peace to a beautiful looking barrel. The cyan blue color was drippy, no doubt. but alas retired. The 1-1. Slider missing high and outside. 2 balls and a strike to O'Rourke, who was a first-team all-catcher his first college season at Los Medanos Community College. 347 batting average, walking more than he strikes out. And he looks at the four-seamer inside at 88 miles an hour for ball 3. O'Rourke is Czechoslovakian, and he played for the U15 and U18 national team. Spins this one off the hands and out of play for strike 2. He was pretty productive on that U18 team back in 2024. 8 of 20 with a triple, drove in 6 runs.
Take 8 for 20 any day of the week.
Absolutely. Ben O'Rourke walks here, though. Leadoff base on balls to the catcher O'Rourke. Ill-advised and can come back to haunt you. A leadoff walk for Sean York, and now it's Kevin Ferruta. Ferruta drilled a single in the second inning and advanced to second base on the errant throw from Jordan and Wright. York nods, now delivers. Pitch missing inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Ferruta went to College of Marin before. He was a Mariner, but redshirted there, didn't get any playing time, and then transferred to Contra Costa Community College. Say that 3 times fast. Pick over to first. Comerford's got it. He's safe there. Still 1-0 to Ferruta. Rising sophomore from San Carlos, California. Had a short stint with the Kings last year, according to Point Streak. And played in 9 games for West Coast. Slider missing below the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 for 9 in 9 games. Drove in 2. Stole a bag, walked, and struck out. But last season, for the Contra Costa, a 336 average and 131 at-bats. 8 doubles, 3 triples, and a homer. Sweeper in there for a strike. Sean York got the call that time, looked outside to me. It's 2-1 to Kevin Ferruta. A lot of guys we talked about are on the right side of that walk and strikeout ratio. Ferruta's still trying to figure that out. 2-1. Swings and misses for strike 2. You can kind of see a hint there on chasing that elevated fastball, but his numbers at Contra Costa paint the bigger picture. 8 walks to 21 strikeouts. Got to think he's going to be working on that this summer, wearing the black uni for the West Coast Kings. Runner on first, short lead there. A 2-2 count with no one gone at the top of the 3rd. Swing and a miss on an elevated fastball for strike 3. 90 miles an hour, the hardest pitch of the day so far for Sean York.
Elevated a fastball in the 2-1 count to get strike 2, and went right back to it. And as you say, Nate, chocolate mousse looks good, but not good for you. A little too high, and couldn't get a barrel on it.
So now top of the order for the West Coast Kings, Joey D'Amelio, an outfielder from Pepperdine University. Leaves that one alone for ball 1. His hobbies are aptly surfing and wakeboarding. Can't really wakeboard in Malibu, though. It's more of a lagoon or lake activity. 1-0 is a sweeper for a strike. You ever wakeboarded, Ryan? Do they wakeboard in Petaluma?
Oh, not in Petaluma.
No?
But I'm not a big water sport guy. Yeah.
Bigger wine guy, right? North Bay?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I just recently turned 21, so I haven't, I don't know if my palate has found wine yet. But
Yeah, you got to get into it.
Yeah.
You're like in the capital.
I know. I'm going wine tasting with some of my roommates for a grad gift in a couple of weeks. So maybe that'll be my introduction.
Petaluma roots getting tapped into on that trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the 1-2 from York. Another sweeper outside to D'Amelio. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, D'Amelio is also a NorCal native from San Mateo. More water sport opportunities there, though. But the water on the Bay and the Pacific Coast, not friendly.
No, not really wakeboarding water. You gotta find one of the nice lakes up there, like there's like Wildwood, Lake Almanor.
Off the hands and out of play. Do it again at 2-2.
That's the spot for water sports is the lakes up north, like even like Lake Tahoe, a little bit more to the east, but good 3.5 hours from San Mateo. But if you're into it, I mean, you got a place up there.
Potentially took on these hobbies while in Malibu too.
True.
Two and two. Fastball taking strike three. What a frame from Gabe Vigil to get the K. D'Amelio goes down looking for the second out of the third inning and the third K for Sean York.
Clipping the outside. That's a really good spot in a 2-2 count to just get a strikeout looking, or if you miss, you create a tunnel for your full count pitch.
Here's Daniel Polasek, right fielder, 1 for 2 today with a double. First pitch is a fastball taken for a strike at the bottom of the zone, 89 miles an hour off the hand of Sean York. I saw a pitcher getting loose a little earlier in that Blues bullpen. Action has since subsided. 2 gone in the top half of the third inning. Blues trailing 7-4 against the West Coast Kings. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Back at 89 again. He's sitting right in that high 80s, occasionally touching low 90s. And West Coast Kings hitters so far just having a really tough time seeing him. 3 strikeouts, 2 of them looking.
0-2. Sweeper missing inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Polasek, who had a very, very good year at Los Medanos Community College. A 385 average, and 109 at-bats, a 541 slugging, including 10 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer. 1-2. Floater just missing outside. It was a changeup that just kind of spun over the plate, but didn't catch enough of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll do it again here with Polasek. Runner on first. 2-2. High bouncing ball over the head of Comerford into right field for a single. Jordan bobbles it and right. The runner holds up at second base, though. That's Ben O'Rourke. So a 2-out base hit for Daniel Polasek for his second knock of the day.
Ball not hit very well, just hit high off the bounce, and Comerford's not a super tall guy, so tough to make that play even with a full leap and extension. And now the Kings have an opportunity to scratch a run across here for the third inning in a row with a runner in scoring position.
Comerford at 5'10", couldn't extend high enough to retrieve that baseball. Runners on first and second for A.J. Martinez, who has already doubled today and drove in a run on a ground out. Sweeper taken for a strike. That outside corner is getting called today, Ryan.
Yeah, it is. That's like we mentioned opening day, wide zone, but it's consistent today. It's not a very big zone, but very consistently that outside strike is being called, so the hitters are just going to have to adjust to it.
Martinez on the 0-1 watches that one go in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
But also as a pitcher, especially with how effective York has been on the outer part of the plate, he needs to just keep going back there. If the umpire is going to give you a call, ball off the plate, why not? That's a hard pitch to hit as a hitter, and not much you can do with it.
Yeah, surprised we haven't seen more pitchers go at that spot. Looks like York tried to that time, but missed the mark. Way outside, 2-1 to Martinez. Mentioned how AJ, who at 5'9", 188, was first team all-conference in his first year with the Cuesta Cougars. He also played for the storied Granada High School program and got the team's Matador Award. 2-1, a high bouncer behind home plate, and it's gloved by Vigil behind the dish. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this is a Granada High School team that was ranked top 10 in the country his senior season. That team also won the 2024 CIF NorCal Division I championship. Now at Cuesta, now here at Sinsheimer with 2 runners on. 2-2, sweeper. They appeal to first, didn't go around. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Blues trail by 3 to the West Coast Kings. Top half of the third inning, a runner in scoring position at second base. One's at first. Payoff pitch. Runners go, and this one sent straight back into the net. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Martinez last spring for the Cougars at Cuesta drove in 44 runs on his 67 hits. Playing in his first summer ball game today at Sinsheimer. He's already driven in 1 today. 3-2. Bouncing ball to the third baseman, Kiesling. He bobbles it, and there won't be a play at first. Another error for the Blues defense keeps the inning alive.
That's just a routine play, but A.J. Martinez made it hard. He was hustling down the line, so Kiesling thought that he had to play very quickly, and instead it results in an error. The inning stays alive, and here comes Dean Traynor. I haven't seen him make the move yet, but he's definitely going out there to at least talk to York.
Dean is a former professional pitcher, so sometimes he can offer some wisdom whenever his young bucks are struggling out there on the mound, and it looks like he's doing that right here.
And York has looked really good. He gave up a really weak he gave up a walk and then a really weak base hit, and now the error. I wouldn't say I would be too concerned. The Kings were hitting Hunter Hammond really well, and now they have really not been able to figure it out against York.
Dean Traynor managing the SLO Blues at 77 years old. Slocal, if you will, who had a fruitful minor league career playing in Indianapolis and in Albuquerque, most notably, and stepped away from baseball to be a DEA agent, now returning as a manager of the Blues and a manager of the SLO High School Tigers. Bases loaded, 2 gone, and Gio Martini stepping in. Fastball missing high, 1 ball, no strikes. Martini had a pretty nice freshman season at Cal State East Bay playing for the Pioneers. Started in 40 games and batted .320. 1-0. Martini watches this pitch outside. 2 balls and no strikes now. Gio brought in 23 runs this past spring on his 47 hits at the Division II level. 2-0, chased. Fastball above the zone for strike 1. Martini actually played for the Kings last summer, and he participated in the Bay Area Collegiate League All-Star Game. Earned co-player honors with a home run in that game. 2-1 is a changeup missing low. 3 balls and 1 strike now.
As effective as York has looked, he needs to find his way back into the strike zone right here on this pitch. He cannot walk in a run and give the Kings an easy one.
Right-hander getting hot in the Blues bullpen. York trying to get out of the jam with the bases loaded. 3-1. And a four-seamer taken for a strike on the outside corner. Martini struck out 23 times this spring, but walked 25. Another guy who can see the zone well for West Coast. 2 gone, payoff pitch with the bases loaded, off the hands and straight back into the net. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And we're certainly not seeing the velocity wane from Sean York at 89 miles an hour. It's really been more the location for him. Started out so well with 3 strikeouts, and a single and an error have sort of created a domino effect in the third. 3-2. Fastball missing outside. He can't walk in a run. Well, he can, and he just did. 8-4 West Coast Kings in the top half of the third. They've scored in every inning.
Not a bad location, just a ball or two outside, and ends up costing a run for the Blues. They still have not hit the Kings, I should say, have not hit the ball hard at all against York yet, so he really just needs to continue to hammer the strike zone.
York misses inside to Andrew Wilford, who walked and flew out to left field to Cuccia last time he was up. That was a hard hit ball. But that was not against York. That was against Hunter Hammond. 1-0 is a slider on the lower outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike to Wilford. He's playing Division I baseball at Bellarmine, redshirted his first season, or at least didn't play. but a ton of accolades at West Valley College and his years prior to that, growing up in San Jose, California. Career .312 average in JUCO ball. A career .387 on base in junior college ball, too. 2-1, chased upstairs for strike 2. Bases loaded, 2 gone, 8-4 West Coast. In the top of the third, 2-2 is called a strike 3. King Strand, the bases loaded, but not before they get one on the bases loaded walk to Gio Martini. 8-4 Kings in the home half of the third on the SLO Blues streaming network. Six, 7, 8 due up for San Luis Obispo. Eli Henderson leads the way as a half swing on a changeup will be the first pitch of his at-bat. Henderson, last time he was up, grounded out to the shortstop Bodie for the first out of the second inning. Blues working from behind after West Coast tacked on another run at the top of the third. It's 8-4 Kings. Now this one's dribbled on the right side and fouled. No balls and 2 strikes to Henderson.
Yet to see a scoreless half inning. The Kings scored 1 in the first, 6 in the second, and 1 in the third. The Blues 1 in the first and 3 in the second. And the Blues definitely need to get back in this game. Don't necessarily need to do it right now, but, you know, some run support wouldn't hurt nobody.
0-2. Cued off the end of the bat and spun down the left field line. No balls and 2 strikes once again to Henderson. Eli has started in all 100 games of the Yellow Jackets of Cedarville University the past 2 seasons and was second team All-League his first year as a freshman. Watches this one go in the dirt for ball 1. Base is empty. Leading off, it's Eli Henderson on the 1-2. And Henderson sends it up and out of play into the parking lot. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. A pretty full afternoon here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Kind of a lighter night last night, around, was it 1,300, high 1,300s or so fans. And it was chilly for sure. You know, with an earlier start today, the sun is still out and fans can enjoy. 1-2 bounced on the right side and fouled once again, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, looking around, it's actually kind of packed at the ballpark today.
I'd say.
There's not a lot of green grass showing other than a little bit in our VIP area. But then I'm looking at this line for the snack shack right underneath us.
Ooh.
It goes all the way to Beer 2, which
Whoa.
is about, it's about a 50-foot line right there.
1-2, a sword, swing and a miss for strike 3. So a 7-pitch at bat. for Eli Henderson, but he comes up empty. And we mentioned those ridiculous strikeout to walk numbers for him. 74 walks to his 34 strikeouts in his college career. And that's his first strikeout of the summer for the Blues, but won't be here for long. Again, on a 2-week contract is Eli Henderson. Now, here's a familiar face in Jake Hixenbaugh, who I assure you will be here the whole summer. And the summer is just starting. It's here, and the boys are back in town. Come celebrate the Blues' 79th season with fireworks after the game against the Menlo Park Legends on June 9th. Buy your tickets now at bluesbaseball.com. That ought to be fun.
That will be a very fun night. Well, you said the boys are back. I almost started busting out.
The song?
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
That's how our boys take the field here at Sinsheimer. Hixenbaugh sends it right back up the middle. The shortstop Bodie bobbles it, throws it over to first. It's offline and not in time. Jake Hixenbaugh reaches on error from the shortstop Bodie.
Yeah, take it how you can get it. Ball kind of just cued to second, kicked around by Bodie. Hixenbaugh with that speed was going to be safe all the way once Bodie bobbled it.
The song never gets old, Ryan.
No, it does not. I mean, we hear it, what, 34, 36 times last year?
That's right.
We're going to hear it again another.
About the same.
We're 3 games into the year this year.
About 30 times.
30 more times. It does not get old.
First pitch missing low and inside to Gabe Vigil for ball 1.
You know what song I like even more, though?
What's that?
The Blues win song at the end of the game.
Go
when the
Blues, go.
Yeah.
Hey, St. Louis, what do you say?
That's a fun one to hear just because then, you know the Blues have won.
Right. It's satisfying.
Yeah.
You're already happy with when they tip their caps to you in the stands and they
Yeah.
shoot the CO2 from the canisters into the field, and that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Rendition of Go Cubs Go, made by a local artist here, so it's sent straight back. I wish I could credit that local artist, but it was made such a long time ago. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It's Gabe Vigil in a 1-2 count. Jake Hixenbaugh tying his shoe at first. Long pause on the mound as he comes set. Slide step, 1-2, just missing outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Vigil.
Good eye from Vigil. We saw that in his first at-bat, too, with the walk. Was very patient, understanding when to swing, looking for his pitch, and then, just fouling off the ones that he doesn't want that are going to be in the zone. And, he really is just breaking down baseball to a pitch-by-pitch basis.
2-2, Vigil takes all the way. This pitch left for the Birds. Fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Gabe walked 13 times and struck out 13 times this past season at SLO High School, and that's in 26 games. Pretty solid at a 709 OPS his senior season with the Tigers. Good for second team All-Sunset League. Payoff pitch is spun on into the Blues bullpen. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Studying criminal justice at Cuesta College and hoping to go to Cal Poly after 2 years there and getting his associate's degree. Got to step on campus first. Just graduated high school from SLO High. 3-2. And Vigil watches this one on the other half for strike 3. Curveball just kind of plopped into the zone, and Vigil goes down looking. So now it's Caden Cuccia, who played as a high school senior last summer for the Blues briefly, and now here as a rising sophomore at Kenyatta College. As this one bounces in front of home plate, O'Rourke can't find it, and Hixenbaugh can moonwalk into second base with a stolen bag.
Good read by Hixenbaugh to see it was in the dirt and just take off immediately. A wild pitch gets him into scoring position for Cuccia, who is still hunting for his first hit of the summer with the Blues after going 0 for 3 in his opening day appearance.
He had 38 hits in his first season at Kenyatta College and 126 at-bats. 1-0. Cuccia watches that one outside. 2 balls and no strike. A hitter's count to the rising sophomore from Orchid.
Cuccia is a very smart player, however. He knows that he could be patient, draw a walk, and flip it over to E.J. Royal, who, he knows what E.J. can do. He saw him last year for a couple of weeks.
2-0. Caden watches the four-seamer inside for a strike. Nicely executed pitch. Now moves to a 2-1 count. And Royal hasn't put the bat to anything so far today. Walked and was hit by a pitch. Came around to score 2 times, though. Went inside, ball 3 to Caden Cuccia. E.J. Royal has accounted for half of the Blues' runs today. Both times was scored by Brendan Comerford. 3-1 with 2 gone, a runner at second. Cuccia lazily hits it into shallow left for a single. Hicksonbaugh gets the green light, could get dicey. Here's the relay home. It's not even thrown. Cut off by the second baseman for Ruda, and the Blues tack on a run. Cuccia's first base hit of the day makes it an 8-5 ball game.
Caden Cuccia comes up big for the Blues right there, and although they still trail by 3, just chipping away with that one there, and it sends it back to the top with E.J. Royal. Maybe a little 2-out rally brewing with some speed on first and a good bat in the box. We could see hit and run, or even just Cuccia stealing second to give E.J. a chance to bring in another run.
A sigh of relief for Caden as he finally gets the monkey off his back and also scores a run. E.J. Royal ropes this one right back to the pitcher, and Condit, who just flips it over to first for the easy out, and the side is retired. But the Blues slowly chip away with an RBI single from Caden Cuccia. 8-5 heading into the middle third of this ball game on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher in for San Luis Obispo, number 19. We don't have an ID on him quite yet. That's the number that Hawk Hill donned yesterday in his first start in a Blues uniform. But this is not Hawk Hill. Very different body type, and he would not be pitching a day after. So while we work on that, we'll let you know who it is. But for now, it's Shane Saunders, who was 1 for 2 today with an RBI double and struck out the first inning to end that frame. It's 2-0 count here. As an update here from Fullerton. We've entered the top of the 9th inning at the Big West Championship game, a baseball game between the Cal Poly Mustangs and the UCI Anteaters, as this one's popped and foul ground, and it will bounce a couple of times and stay outside the chalk. Wow, can't believe that didn't bounce into fair territory. It was awfully close.
Yeah, V-Hill just lost that one up in the skies, and he got lucky that that ball did not come back in to play, and it would have been a base hit.
So Saunders will retreat back to the box. It's a ball and 2 strikes after the towering pop foul from the windup. Here's the pitch on the 1-2. Lazy grounder to the shortstop O'Hara. Fires it over to first, and Comerford can't glove it. Throw gets away, and another error for the Blues defense. And that error will be charged to Cade O'Hara. It looked like he had plenty of time to get it there, and I think he just pushed that pitch too hard. And I never finished my update from Fullerton. And Cal Poly has taken a 6-4 lead over the UCI Anteaters in the top of the 9th. A little 2-out magic here at Cal State Fullerton. Would be a huge win for the Mustangs.
I mean, the biggest win of the season.
Yes.
Getting that
not even close.
Automatic bid after.
Broken bat the opposite way. It falls down the right field line for a base hit. Jordan's got it over and right. He throws it over to third. O'Hara cuts it off at short. They try to backdoor to first, and they don't get the runner in Rogan Bodie. That's a single for Bodie as Saunders advances to third. Runners at the corners now with no one out in the 4th.
Cal Poly played the host Fullerton to start the tournament, took care of them 7-2, and then the next day played Irvine in what it was essentially the semifinal round. It's a double elimination bracket. They got demolished in that game. They lost 15-3, giving up 15 runs in the first couple innings.
Runner takes off to second base. Here's the throw down to the bag. It's luckily picked by O'Hara over there. A stolen base for Rogan Bodie puts runners at second and third.
They gave up 15 runs in the first 4 innings and were never able to come back. Lost 15-3, excuse me. But then yesterday, run ruled the Anteaters, like you mentioned, the number 12 team in the nation, and up by 2. They just need to record 3 more outs.
This one demolished out to left field. Cuchilla giving chase, and it's just foul, hitting the wall on a fly. Long strike 1 for Ben O'Rourke as he walks back to the base, to home plate. Eight to 5 game in the top of the 4th at Sinsheimer. An hour and 40 minutes in. We just finished the 3rd inning. No outs, runners on second and third. Kings threatening with the infield playing half in. 1-1. This one hit hard too and pulled down the left field line, but again, just foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to O'Rourke.
O'Rourke is seeing the new pitcher very well.
Again, still waiting on that ID for you guys. Trying our best to communicate that with you as best as possible. A lot of new faces coming in, a lot of high schoolers still in. People wearing the same jerseys as other players. Classic summer ball. 1-2. Slider missing outside, and V-Hill botches it, but gets there in plenty of time to make sure Saunders doesn't advance. Runners stay at their bases, 2-2 to O'Rourke.
And we do now have an ID on the new pitcher. It is Joe Eisman, listed as 33 on our rosters, but wearing Hawk Hills number 19 for today's game in the yellows.
Eisman, a graduate of San Luis Obispo High School. Throwing to his catcher, Gabe V-Hill, as he has done so many times in his career as a Tiger. As Eisman misses high and tight to Ben O'Rourke. 3 balls and 2 strikes with no one gone. Payoff pitch. Sweeper just missing outside. And a walk without an out even being recorded yet. Fills the bases for Kevin Ferruta. Ben O'Rourke has reached on a walk, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch today, and he's scored every time he's been on. So now here's Ferruda. As the first pitch just misses high for a ball. Ferruda played at Contra Costa last season. Some junior college ball after redshirting his first year with the Mariners at Marin. With the bases loaded, the 1-0 is sent up and right into the press box. Look out. Our lovely PA announcer, Jim, makes the play. Jim's okay, lively as ever. 1-1. Sweeper just missing outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Haven't seen too many foul balls go on the right side of the press box. Ryan and I are on the left side. 2-1. This one demolished out to left, but Cuccia makes a couple steps to his right and makes the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Shane Saunders. A 9-5 lead for the West Coast Kings now, but that pitch was handled by Ferruda.
Got the job done with no outs. Just a sac fly into right field to extend the lead even further and continue this streak we have going of runs being scored in every single half inning so far.
That's right. 1 in the first, 6 in the second, and 1-1 for the Kings. As a sweeper misses outside, Vigil has to slide to grab this one. 1-0.
Mustangs.
Looked like it was almost a home run there. We were about to give you an update. It looked like Martinez homered, but he didn't. It's a pop out and foul territory, and Comerford makes the running grab for the second out of the inning.
Good job there to induce some weak contact, get the second out without the runners moving up, and now you're an out away from getting out of what has been a pretty ugly inning thus far for the Blues.
Trying to minimize the damage here with just the 1. And it's Daniel Polasek, who is 2 for 3 on the day. Seen it well with a double in the first and a single in the third. Was stranded on third base both times and sandwiches that in between a pop out to O'Hara at shortstop. First pitch bounces on home plate, and Vigil keeps it in front. Runners stay at their stations. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's an incredible job by Vigil. He had to chase that ball down into the infield grass, but just keeping it in front, held that runner at second and allowed no advance.
Runners on first and second, 9-5 game in the top of the 4th. And the 1-0 is a fastball taken for a strike on the outer half. Blues trailing by 5 to the West Coast Kings in Game 3 of their season. They took 2 against the Coastal Dodgers. Now turning it over to the Kings. 1-1, misses inside, 2 balls and a strike to Polasek. Polasek cashed in 25 runs last season for Los Medanos Community College on his 42 hits. 1 runner in scoring position here with 2 on. 2-1, another sweeper, and Vigil keeps it in front.
I mean, I really guess if he doesn't want to face Polasek, he does have a bag open at third and could face Martinez, but Martinez has hit the ball very well twice in this game.
This one hit on a line to the second baseman. Nice pick. Henderson flips it over to O'Hara to get the force out. Nice play by the Yellow Jacket from Cedarville to retire the side, but not before the Kings snag 1 on a sacrifice fly from Kevin Ferruda. It's 9-5 West Coast, heading into the home half of the 4th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Home half of the fourth inning is brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union, proudly serving the Central Coast. EECU is located in Paso Robles and can be found at myeecu.org. Experience smarter banking at Educational Employees Credit Union. 2-3-4 due up for the SLO Blues. The West Coast Kings added on another insurance run in the top half of this inning. 9-5, the Kings lead. And Kate O'Hara watches that one kick up some dust. 1 ball and 1 strike. An update from Fullerton. Your Cal Poly Mustangs are 2025 Big West baseball champions. 1-1. O'Hara watches that one inside. 2 balls and a strike. Automatic bid into a regional game, regional tournament. And those regionals should be decided by now, pretty soon. 2-1. O'Hara watches that one outside. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, selection day is tomorrow, so they'll officially know tomorrow what they're seeding and who they play, where they play, all that good stuff tomorrow during the selection show. But what an exciting time to be a Mustang baseball fan.
3-1. O'Hara watches that one for a strike. We'll know the venues in a few minutes.
Yes.
Like who is hosting.
Yes.
So then, that gives us time to speculate for at least 12 hours.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch to the shortstop, Kate O'Hara. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the curveball in the outer half. Second time today, O'Hara's gone down swinging. But yes, an automatic bid for the Mustangs. Irvine will probably get in too because they're ranked. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the 12th best team in the nation. We'll get one of the at-large bids.
Yeah. Brendan Comerford now up. Seeing it well on a 2-for-2 day. He sends the first pitch back for strike 1. RBI single in the first, stole 2 bags, and a 2 RBI single in the third, and then tacked on a third stolen base.
Yeah, I mean, he's really produced most of the Blues offense with his 3 RBIs, 3 stolen bases.
Watches the off speed for a strike. Comerford coming off a second team All South Coast Conference season over at Ohlone College for the Renegades. 0-2. Comerford the opposite way, sends it up and out of play. Do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Brendan had 27 career home runs in his time playing junior college baseball. The 0-2. Comerford skies this one up and by the concession stand. Once again, we'll do it at no balls and 2 strikes. After hitting no home runs for the Blues in the summer of 2024, came back and hit 15 in the regular season for the Renegades. 0-2. Comerford cranks it through the 5-5 hole for a base hit. 3-hit day for Brendan Comerford. He's perfect with 3 singles.
Just another solid piece of hitting out in front of that and drove it through the 5-5 hole. 95 off the bat. Another 90-plus mile-an-hour hit for Comerford, who has just been mentioned. Didn't hit a home run last summer, hasn't hit one this summer, but he's just seeing the ball so well and slapping it all around the ballpark.
There's a guy who's trying to take a page out of that book. It's Don Jordan with a runner on first. Jordan just misses this one as he pops it up in front of the press box and hits our ceiling. No balls and a strike to the Texas native. Jordan 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging in the first inning and walked in the second. Just 1 base hit on this young season. Beat out an infield single. 0-1, Jordan whiffs at the curveball for a strike. Talked about in batting practice today, a conscious effort to keep the ball low. Came in with a lot of confidence on day 1, saying the ball doesn't fly here, I'll make it fly here. He bounces it to the shortstop, Bodie. Flips it to second for 1, and they turn the double play. Don Jordan grounds into a 6-4-3 double play, and the Blues go down quiet in the fourth. The first scoreless half inning in this ballgame as we head into the 5th. 9-5 Kings on the SLO Blues streaming. Back here in the top of the 5th inning, and the first pitch to the leadoff man, A.J. Martinez, is sent up and out of play for strike one. 9-5 ball game. We're coming off our first half inning where we saw no runs scored. Blues went down quiet as the sweeper misses outside from the arm of Joe Eisman, who's back out there for another inning of work, pitching to a familiar face in Gabe Vigil. They both played on the same high school team in the past few years. Now they're here at Sinsheimer. 0-1 right back up the middle, almost hit Eisman, and trying to throw off balance is Henderson. Comerford can't scoop it at first, and that's an infield base hit for A.J. Martinez. That pitch was smoked right back to the pitcher, Joe Eisman. I don't think he got hit, luckily.
Purple, green, or red button on the bottom of your program. That's the horse you're going to be rooting for in the slow derby. It's coming up next.
Gio Martini now stepping in with a runner at first base. The lefty awaits the offering from the lanky right-hander Eisman. Fastball in there for a strike. Martini, as we've said, a successful season with the Pioneers last year playing in Cal State East Bay. This one bounces in between the wickets of Vigil. Easy takeoff for second is Martinez. He gets in there standing. Pass ball and a runner in scoring position. And this isn't the final look slow Blues that we'll see this summer, but mistakes like that aren't going to fly when you play against like a Sonoma Stompers. 1-1 on the outside corner for a strike.
I mean, we're already seeing it not fly here against the West Coast Kings. The 4-5 errors that the Blues have offered now.
Half swing and a miss for strike three. Absolutely fooled on the changeup. Brings down Gio Martini for the first out of the inning and the first K for Joe Eisman. So Eisman bounces back, getting the strikeout against Martini. Now it's Andrew Wilford with a runner at second base. Wilford watches the sweeper in the other batter's box for ball one. Andrew was first team All-League and second team All-League in high school. He waves and misses for a strike. Grown up in San Jose, he's All-Coast Conference at West Valley Community College, second team All-Coast Conference, and had the second most stolen bases in California. He flails this one up and into the Blues on deck circle. No one will get there. A ball and two strikes. So you know he's got some wheels with stolen base numbers like that. 39 in his career at West Valley. Wind still jetting out to left field as the 1-2 is swung on and chopped at home plate. Do it again. And something I'm liking too from Joe Eisman. He's getting a lot of uncomfortable swings. Not a swings that are not confident. And we've seen a few of those with the strikeout swinging from Martini and that offering from Wilford. Here's the 1-2. This one barreled, though, into left center for a base hit. There's the green light for Martinez. They're sending him home. The throw goes to second. Picking it at the bag is Henderson. Standing in there safely at home is Martinez. An RBI base hit for Andrew Wilford makes it a 10-5 lead for the Kings.
Even then, a pitch not hit all that well. Right there, talking about those uncomfortable swings. That one just 82 off the bat as we're going to get a pinch hitter, a lefty, here for Shane Saunders.
So Saunders' day is done. He smoked a double in the second that drove in a run. Also struck out looking and reached on error in the fourth to begin that inning. So now his day comes to an end. And a pinch hitter now for the Kings.
Mysterious number 50. Not on the roster.
Runner goes for second. The throw down there is well placed, but not in time. Again, we're working on getting that name to you as soon as we can. An unidentified player.
Batting from the left side, 6'1", 190.
Swing and a miss, first strike.
My best guess.
It's a good guess, Ryan. Should be a scout.
I can tell you for sure he has a red bat,
You sure can.
and that he plays for the Kings, and that he's a lefty.
Evo Shield helmet as the 1-1 comes in, and he watches the off speed down the heart of the plate for a strike. 1-2 to Mystery Man. Fans want their hot sauce.
Can you blame him?
Sure can't. Had Bontemps this morning. 1-2. Off speed misses high. Vigil has to go out of the crouch that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of your Bontemps this morning. What'd you get?
Got the Fey Dodo, man. There's really no other way to do it.
Yeah, I know that's your go-to. We went last week as well, and I know that's also what you got there.
2-2, missing outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You were struggling last Thursday though, to
did.
get that Fey Dodo down.
Yeah, you
That's
know,
a lot of food.
I'm usually like a garbage disposal when it comes to that stuff. But today, I was like the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, just
Bent forks. The plate was on fire. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Another strikeout for Joe Eisman, his second of the day.
I personally, I've never got the Fey Dodo there, just because I'm not a poached egg guy, which is.
You can get scrambled eggs.
Oh, can you?
I found that out today.
Oh, okay. Then I might have to try the next time I go.
Yeah.
But I mean, their hot sauce that they have there that we give out here at the ballpark is top tier hot sauce.
It's actually separate from what they have on the table. It's our own Blues hot sauce. The fans were just treated to another bottle right there, as Rogan Bodie is the recipient of strike 1 against Eisman.
It's exclusive. So if you like what they have over there at Bontemps, you got to come to the ballpark, pick up a program, and get that lucky number called.
Another one right back up the middle, almost hitting Eisman. The throw over to first is in time. What a play from the second baseman, Henderson. Falling towards left field, he ends the frame with a spectacular throw. Blues down 10-5 against the West Coast Kings. Halfway through at Sinsheimer on the Slow Blues streaming network. Bottom half of the 5th inning, and it's never too late to purchase tickets for our signature fireworks game on July 3rd. Celebrate the stars and stripes and watch the Blues play under the lights at our biggest game of the summer. Save your seat now and secure those tickets at bluesbaseball.com.
And those tickets are going fast, so you want to make sure if you're thinking about coming to the game, you just order those tickets right away. I don't know the exact number, but I know that we have already sold 300 tickets to just youth under the age of 12.
Whoa.
So, you better get those tickets quick.
Ooh, man. Piling up fast. That is the biggest game of the year. As leading off for the Blues, it's Thomas Kiesling here in a 2-0 count against Bruno Condit, who's back out there for another inning of work. A defensive change, too, for the West Coast Kings. Ferrada's day is done over at second base, and now it's Joaquin Stewart over at second base. 3-0. Taking all the way that time, a leadoff walk to Thomas Kiesling. Ill-advised and can come back to haunt you. Leadoff based on balls for the third baseman. So now it's Eli Henderson, who made a dazzling play at second base. A backhander, he was falling towards left field and made the throw across his body to retire the side. A short lead or an average lead at first base for Kiesling, as Henderson is 0 for 2 today, trying to move a runner over. First pitch missing inside, 1-0. Henderson from Clovis, California, in the Fresno area. Very well known for their good high school sports. This one almost hits his elbow. 2 balls and no strikes. Not only did he play high school baseball at Clovis High, but he also was a 2-year letter winner in water polo as a freshman and a sophomore. Underrated hard sport. You got to be ripped for that. 2-0. And this one's taken for a strike on the outer half.
6 straight balls is almost a full take there from Henderson. And honestly, it might take again because that pitch barely nicked the zone. You know, if you draw a 3-1 count or you just sit one pitch, maybe fastball, middle, whatever his pitch is.
They pick over to first to try to get Kiesling. No tag there.
Just be patient here. Wait for your pitch. If you don't get it, no harm. Just fight with 2 strikes.
The lefty comes set as he peeks over at first. Here's the 2-1. And misses inside. Like you said, Ryan, taking all the way that time. 7 straight balls from the southpaw Condit. And as the command issues begin to ensue, a right-hander is getting loose in the West Coast Kings bullpen. Jake Hicksonbaugh awaits on deck, one of the 3 left-handed hitters in tonight's lineup for the Blues. 3-1. High and outside, no doubt about it. Another walk for Eli Henderson. Back-to-back base on balls to begin the 5th. A frustrating game for San Luis Obispo, trailing by 5 to the West Coast Kings, and the biggest thing that has nipped them in the behind has been the errors. 5 errors. Half of the runs this game have been earned. A meeting at the mound here, trying to hit reset here to Bruno Condit as fans celebrate the news that Cal Poly is Big West champions in 2025 and will get an automatic bid. Jake Hicksonbaugh waiting for first pitch as he idles around in the batter's box.
And it's the inaugural tournament for the Big West. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's their first postseason tournament, so they will be the inaugural champs.
Yep. Inside mood over to second. Throw almost went to center, but Bodie scooped it up.
It also is going to mark their 4th appearance in the national tournament. First since 2014.
11 years ago. They're back. Hicksy takes the first pitch high, 1 ball, no strikes. And Cal Poly had a long time of success when they were a Division II program in baseball. Haven't quite seen the same results at the D1 level. Hicksonbaugh watches that one go outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
What's interesting, so we were just talking about maybe where they would play come this next tournament, and it actually looks like in 2014 when they made the tournament, it looks like they hosted the regionals.
That's right. And Hicksonbaugh takes all the way high and outside. 3 balls and no strikes, and Condit struggles just continue.
Yeah, 1 strike so far in this inning compared to his 11 balls.
Runners on first and second, 3-0 with no one gone. Hixenbaugh confidently takes, and it's down the plate for a strike. Three balls and one strike to Hicks, who is 1 of 2 today. Scored 2 runs and his first base hit of the summer in the second. 3-1, slowly rolled to the second baseman Stewart, shuffles and throws it over to first in time to retire Hixenbaugh for the first out of the inning. So after a couple of walks, they retire Jake with a ground out to second base, but the runners advance each station. So now 2 in scoring position for Gabe Vigil. And a coach on the mound for the West Coast Kings, and looks like Bruno Condit's day is done. New right-hander coming into the game. We'll introduce you to him right after this on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Gabe Vigil now batting for San Luis Obispo with runners on second and third. And a new pitcher, Jacob Poole, a right-hander from Chico State, just like the starter today, Josh Rhodes. First pitch, and Vigil squares it up into center field. D'Amelio ranging to his right, makes the running grab. Tagging from third and scoring is Thomas Kiesling. And the Blues make it a 10-6 ball game on the sac fly from Vigil.
A productive out.
When the Blues score, you score. $3 no lights and $4 fuel.
Second out of the inning. Let's introduce you more to Jacob Poole. Didn't play in his first inning at Chico State, but went to Alhambra High School in Martinez, California, the East Bay. Has voted the Diablo Athletic League Pitcher of the Year and helped his squad win the DVAL title. And first pitch to Caden Cuccia, misses outside for a ball.
It's a pretty competitive league up in the East Bay, so playing for Alhambra and winning a title and a league title in high school is pretty big news up there.
1-0. Cuccia does an offer on the sweeper below the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Not only did he play for Alhambra High School, but he's a familiar face with the West Coast Kings. He played for 4 years on the Kings travel ball team in the Bay Area. This, of course, is the collegiate team. 1-1. Cuccia watches that one high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. And Poole went out with a bang in his high school career. Pitched a no-hitter in his very last game of high school. 2-1. And a fastball in there for a strike.
It's definitely quite the way to go out. Got to be a fun way to end your high school career, too.
Oh.
I think it's probably maybe senior night or senior day, depending on the time of the game, and you throw a no-hitter.
2-2, and Caden rips this one into right field. Polasek is there, though, stumbling to make the grab. So Cuccia barrels one up, but it's not enough. The Blues do get a run, though, on a sacrifice fly from Gabe Vigil. It's 10-6 West Coast Kings heading into the sixth on SLO Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher for San Luis Obispo, it's Cooper Bagby from Allen Hancock College. In the top half of the sixth inning, the first pitch is swung on and skied into left field. Cuccia calls off Royal in center and makes the running grab for the first pitch for the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out to begin the sixth.
Good way to start. One pitch, one out. Most pitchers will take that. Yeah, let me check. Any day of the week.
So that was Ben O'Rourke who flew out to left field there. And after replacing Kevin Ferruta defensively at second base, it's Joaquin Stewart digging in from the right side of the batter's box. And here's some more on Cooper Bagby. 73 innings pitched at Allen Hancock College his first season, 65 the year after. 402 earned run average in his most recent year with the Bulldogs. He's up 1-0 against Stewart, who swings and misses at the second offering for a strike. Blues trailing 10-6 after nabbing a run in the bottom half of the fifth inning. 1-1 is a fastball in there for a strike. 88 miles an hour on the four-seam. Catches Stewart looking. One out in the sixth inning. A fly out to Kachia. 2-2. Sweeper fouled and tipped off the face of Vigil. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Bagby graduated from Allen Hancock a couple years ago and doesn't have anything after that. 1-2. Missing high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just looking for a new place to call home as he hit 90 miles an hour just now in that fastball. Some solid numbers with the Bulldogs in his college career. Now trying to make some better memories with the Blues. 2-2. Lazily swung on and lined down the right field line. Foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Joaquin Stewart. Standing on deck, it's Joey D'Amelio, the leadoff man for the Kings. 1 gone and a 2-2 count to Stewart, a new second baseman in today's game. Here's the pitch. And again, a high pop out, up and out of play on the right side. Stewart, an infielder from Ohlone Community College, familiar with Brendan Comerford over at first base. Wind still jetting out to left field. 2-2. Foul tipped, back into the netting once more. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's interesting now that you mentioned he's from Ohlone. Honestly, I see a lot of similarities between him and Comerford's swing. So, same hitting coach over there, learning a lot of the same things, and I feel like I see the similarities, especially with that right foot slide that we're seeing out of Comerford. Seeing it with Stewart here as well.
2-2. Stewart, high bouncing ball on the left side. Nice play by the third base coach for West Coast. Again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I'm noticing that too. Usually you see that in a university, in a high school program, or even a travel ball team where all the guys kind of have the same mechanics and you can tell the influence of a certain hitting coach. Scissor kick was certainly something that took the hitting world by storm. As this one is popped up near the Blues dugout, and Vigil makes the nice play. Overshot it on his angle, but he reached behind his head and made the snag in foul ground to end the AB.
Really good play by Vigil to end the 10-pitch at bat. And another ball that he did overrun, but that time he was able to get back to it. He overran that one earlier, and I believe the 3rd or 4th inning, and was unable to get back to it, but luckily it was still foul. But there he adjusts while the ball's in the air, and looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter.
Yeah, so Joey D'Amelio's day is done. Park Romney, the Tiger from UOP, now stepping in for the West Coast Kings. So D'Amelio's day is done after going 1 for 4. A double, an RBI double in the second, and scored 2 runs. Reached on air in the first, struck out looking, and popped out at the first baseman, Comerford. Romney on the first pitch scooches out of the way for ball 1. Park from Farmington, Utah. and a JUCO Bandit from San Joaquin Delta College. A very good junior college for baseball in California as he hits this one hard right back up the middle for a base hit. No surprise why he's a Tiger at UOP, but the way he just squared up that baseball, a hung slider, keeps the inning alive in the 6th.
Just a good piece of hitting. You're taught from a very young age to just send the ball back where it came from, and he did just that, an acrobatic play by Bagby to try to knock it down and have a play, but to no avail.
So now it's Daniel Polasek who stays in today's game because he's been seeing the ball so well. A 2-for-4 night, a double and a single. Left-hander against the righty, and Bagby. First pitch misses inside, a ball, no strikes. Looks like A.J. Martinez is scheduled to be up next as he stands on deck. No pinch hitter there. With 2 gone, a runner on first. The 1-0 misses upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. And talk about JUCO Bandits, and Romney was one, Polasek is one too. Los Medanos Community College in NorCal. West Coast Kings, of course, based in the Bay Area, so you're going to get a lot of guys from that area. There's a high chopper for the second baseman. Henderson makes a throw over to first, and it's not in time. The big bounce in the infield bought time for Polasek to reach first base. There's nothing really Henderson can do besides fire a dart to Comerford. It just wasn't in time.
That was honestly a really impressive play to field that ball. He knew that the previous bounces would be too high, so he'd either have to take a short hop or it was going to go over his head. Decided to play it back and trust his arm, but just a little too fast down the line as Polasek.
So after recording 2 quick outs, it's back-to-back base hits in the 6th inning, and it's A.J. Martinez, who is also having a 2-for-4 day so far. First pitch to Martinez misses downstairs, ball 1. A.J. an electric first college season with the Cougars at Cuesta. A native of Northern California in Livermore. Took the trip down to the Central Coast to play some junior college baseball. 1-0, check swing, and they call it a strike anyway, 1-1. All conference with the Cougars in his first year of college baseball. 67 hits and 188 at-bats. More walks than strikeouts. 1-1. And this off-speed floats on the outer half of the zone for a strike.
Been a common theme that we've seen today from these hitters that during their college seasons they had more hits or more walks than strikeouts, which is really impressive. It's not easy to do.
Very enticing characteristic for any college coach. This one's off the bat, might have been broken. O'Hara slides, can't get there. Henderson's got it. Now he'll gun it home. V-Hill can't glove it. The ball kicks away. Going from first to second is Martinez. The throw will not be there, and it looks like Henderson is shaken up after O'Hara and him both slid for that baseball. So they'll mark it down as a hit. That's 3 in a row for the Kings. And it produces a run for West Coast. They extend 11-6.
Yeah, hit and then E4. That allows the runs to score and the runner to move to third. But honestly, not a bad piece of hitting. O'Hara and Henderson both couldn't really get there. Henderson honestly made a really smart play. He knew he didn't have a play at first, so he faked the throw to first. The runner at third continued to go, but then it just a little too late and a little too low at home plate to get the out.
So here's Gio Martini with runners on second and third, and he watches the fastball outside for a strike. Gio, a hit today, scored a run, a walk, grounded out to Henderson at second, and a strikeout swinging. 1 for 3. 0-1. That's a strike. 1 for 3, similar to what his average was last year with the Pioneers at Cal State East Bay, 320. 1 for 3, of course, 333. 0-2. High and outside, V-Hill stands up to get this one, 0-2. Martini, one of the 2 left-handed batters in tonight's lineup for the Kings. As a pinch hitter is standing on deck to replace Andrew Wilford. 2 gone on the 1-2, and he half swings this one, rolls it down the third base line and foul. And that one would have been some issues. That would have definitely scored the 2 runs. They both got a very good beat on that baseball. It was off the bat.
Yeah, with 2 outs, they're going on anything. So a base hit will most likely score 2 and extend this lead even further for the Kings. I'd just like to mention, too, the on-deck hitter is not really on the on-deck circle. He's kind of in the field, actually.
1-2, sent up and out of play the opposite side. We'll do it again. And that's Teo Thompson over there getting close on the action.
I guess he from there he has a better angle to look at the pitches that Bagby are throwing, and maybe can pick up some spin a little bit better before his at-bat.
To equate it to the big league level, Manny Machado does that. He gets very close. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. It's drop third strike, and the throw to first is in time to retire the side, but not before the Kings score again. They've scored in every half inning so far this game, and it's 11-6 advantage over the SLO Blues. Heading to the bottom half of the 6th on the SLO Blues streaming network. One, two, three, due up for San Luis Obispo in the home half of the 6th inning. The Blues trail 11-6 against the West Coast Kings at Sinsheimer Stadium. EJ sends this one into center field. D'Amelio's got a beat on it. Makes the grab backpedaling for the first out of the inning. And check that, it's not D'Amelio, that's Park Romney out there. Romney pinch hit for D'Amelio in the top half of the 6th inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out here to begin the bottom of the 6th. And I'd like to remind you that this inning is brought to you by the talented team at Studio Design Group Architects. Whether you're designing, planning, or needing permits for a space, Studio Design Group and their collaborative philosophy have you covered. Visit sdgarchitects.com to learn more. Now it's Cade O'Hara for the SLO Blues, and he watches the first pitch bounce on top of home plate, a ball, no strikes. O'Hara watches the slider down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
O'Hara is still struggling with those strikeouts. 3 in the first game of the season, 2 in this game. Just hasn't seen the ball that well up there.
1-1. He hits this one off the end of the bat. Bodie having trouble with it at short. Tries to throw over to first, and it's not in time. And Cade O'Hara with a base hit, the first one in a Blues uniform this summer. Nice to get that one off your chest. Cade O'Hara, infield base hit.
And not a hard hit ball, which is why the shortstop couldn't field it and why it'll be granted to O'Hara as a hit rather than an error.
So after the single, it's Brendan Comerford, who is 3 for 3 today with 3 singles, driven in half of the Blues' runs this afternoon. 3 of the 6.
Also has 3 of the Blues' 5 hits in the game. Excuse me, 3 of the 6, so also half their hits.
Comerford swings and misses at the splitter for strike 2. And it kind of goes back to the offensive woes we talked about on the pregame show. The Blues just haven't squared up too many balls, and all the ones they have come off the bat of Comerford. No balls and 2 strikes with Cade O'Hara at first. And Comerford goes down swinging. And a sweeper got Brendan to chase for the second out of the 6th inning.
Very un-Comerford-like at-bat right there from what we've seen from him so far this summer. He's been pretty patient at the plate, and to just swing, and go down in 3 pitches is unlike what we've seen from him early in the summer.
So now 2 gone for Don Jordan, a guy who's trying to get on the right track here in his early Blues career. He's signed up for the whole summer, so he's got some time to work on stuff with his silver torpedo bat in the right-handed batter's box as the slider bounces at home, and Jordan takes it for ball 1. Jordan getting a lot of praise at the University of Texas for his defense as he swings and misses at the slider for strike. And we could see that with the play he made in right field last night, a sliding grab with a extra cool celebration after, too, might I add. They know he can do that. He's got the speed, too, and the athleticism. The folks over at Texas are waiting for the bat to come around. 1-1, a high bouncing ball to the third baseman Martinez, who makes the throw on the run. Nice stretch from Martini to retire the side. Cade O'Hara is stranded on base. The Blues get nothing with 1 hit from Cade. Heading into the 7th inning, Blues trail 11-6 as we hand it off to Ryan Giacomini on the Slow Blues streaming network.
Five, 6, 7 due up for the Kings as Teo Thompson will take over for Andrew Wilford, batting from the left side. With the neutral stance, the first pitch from Bigsby doesn't miss by much. We called ball. To Thompson, the Ohlone native from Albany, California. That one is slapped into left center field, and Cuccia is not going to be able to get there. Takes a wicked hop over his head, but Royal does a good job backing him up and getting it in to keep Thompson at first base, but 2 pitches into his pinch hit at bat, and he is a leadoff base runner for the Kings.
I've talked about many times playing outfield here at Sinsheimer. It's not an easy task, especially playing left field. Cuccia had a decent angle on this baseball, but because a left-handed batter and Thompson went the opposite way, there was a ton of slice. Not only that, a big bounce on this grass. A weird play for the left fielder, Cuccia.
Not an easy play to make, and we have another lefty up. He hit in the 5th, but we still don't know his name. So number 50 struck out his last time up after taking over for Shane Saunders, the designated hitter, as he takes the 0-1 pitch down to even it up at 1-1. Big swing and a miss there. As Bagby gets ahead in the count, 1-2. Thompson, who led off the inning, is on first after he recorded a base hit. The Blues trail at 11-6 in the top half of the 7th inning. Curveball misses high, throw down to second, not in time. O'Hara able to just knock it down and keep it in front and keep the runner at second base.
How about the jump, too, from Teo Thompson? He had some wheels flying down to second base.
Been running a lot today on V-Hill behind the dish. He hasn't thrown anybody out yet. As the 2-2 misses down and away and gets through the wickets of V-Hill. Thompson speeds his way over to third, takes a pretty big turn, but will hold there. So, a leadoff base hit, a stolen base, and then a wild pitch has a runner on third with nobody out for the Kings.
And we have a couple of pass balls tonight and now a wild pitch underneath the legs of V-Hill. High school senior getting some college experience right now, catching Bagby.
The infield comes in as they figure at this point 5-run deficit is enough, as a swing and a miss, good fastball down and away to get the first out of the inning for Bagsby.
And a lot of arm side run on this fastball here, cutting away from the left-handed hitter for the West Coast Kings, and just kind of no chance there. Starting on the outer half of the zone, ducked away, and the left-handed hitter was committed to the swing, couldn't hold up on it at all. A nicely executed pitch from Bagsby.
Another pitch hitter, this time Rogan Bode will come out, and it'll be Jaden Montero.
Kings emptying the bench, just now entering the third frame of this ballgame.
First pitch is fouled back to the netting. Bode finishes the day 2 for 4, a strikeout, 2 hits, a stolen base, a run. Now it'll be Montero. Slightly open stance, squatted on the right-handed batter's box. Slider called strike, dropped by V-Hill, but still gets the call. And very quickly it is 0-2 to the 7-hole. Strike 3 swinging. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Montero as he comes off the bench and will head right back there after 3 pitches.
Yeah, and Bagby is just locating his four-seamer really well. You can see he's just antsy to face the new guy in Ben O'Rourke, getting right back on the rubber. A well-executed fastball at 88 miles an hour, getting Jaden Montero to chase, coming right off the bench. That's a big strikeout for 2 outs and a runner at third base.
Infield can now back up as Benji O'Rourke steps back in, and that ball was just foul.
Didn't miss by much. I thought that was fair, honestly.
Yeah. That had extra bases written all over it if it was about 3 inches to the left. O'Rourke has not recorded a hit today, but has reached base safely 3 times, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, has scored twice. He also flew out in the 6th. Kind of an interesting approach in the 6th after, getting on base safely 3 times, twice, recording 4 balls. He swings first pitch and flies out to Cuccia as he takes a ball inside. 1-1.
Oh, and he smoked that one, too, into left field, if you remember. He was just waiting to get a pitch he liked because he hadn't been doing that for a lot of today. 3 plate appearances, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch. So he finally got his cookie and hammered it, just not in the right spot.
That one hit softly in the air, playable in the infield for O'Hara, and he will squeeze it to end the inning. 1 hit, but no damage done. The Blues will have Kersling, Henderson, and Hicksonbaugh due up in the bottom of the 7th. The Blues still trail it by 5 here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Back here in the bottom of the 7th as the ballpark just got finished stretching as Kiesling swings at a first pitch and misses. 0 for 2 on the day. Drew a walk and later scored in the 5th. Struck out in the 1st. Ground out and sandwiched in between those. Front door breaking ball pitch. Misses. Inside. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Foul tipped, I should say, into the glove of O'Rourke.
That big swing was working for him in high school. Got to adapt to the next level here in college.
This one he choked up a little bit and softly flies it into right field. Polasek gets under it, catches it for the first out.
Again, some more soft contact for this Blues offense. These are balls that are just kind of flared into the corner outfields. There's no charge being put into them. The Blues, especially against a team like the West Coast Kings that doesn't have the highest caliber of pitchers, you really got to square up some baseballs. Now, granted, the full-strength roster isn't here, but even their guys who are going to be regulars around it, they're missing it out on the party.
That one is tatered into right field, but about 5 steps to his left and making the grab again is Polasek. Good swing there by Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson smoked that one into right. It was a tough play for Polasek to make because it was slicing towards the line. A left-handed swing. It was hooking towards that chalk. Nice play by Polasek. That one was smoked.
Yeah, 90 miles an hour off the bat. Got the pitch he wanted and the first pitch of the at-bat and hammered it. He caught it a little bit on the hands, but for the most part caught the barrel. But right to Polasek. Hicksonbaugh watches a first pitch fastball for a ball. 2 runs scored today for Hicksonbaugh as well as a single. as he takes that slider low and in. 2-0.
Hixenbaugh playing with a little less weight on his shoulders after getting his first Blues hit this summer in the second inning.
It's always a little nerve-wracking, especially when you play at colleges that don't give big turnouts for games, as he rips that one to the right side, and it'll get through for a base hit. Hixenbaugh has the Blues' first base runner of the inning, and with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Now the Blues have had a base runner in every inning, and they've scored 6 runs, a couple of goose eggs, and they stranded the West Coast Kings to a goose egg in the top of the 7th, and Hixenbaugh trying to change that right now for the Blues' sake. And this one was hit hard to the first baseman, Martini. Real tough play to make, especially at Sinsheimer. Sort of a harder dirt surface. A tough kick over to the first baseman, Martini. Single for Hixenbaugh.
Hixenbaugh goes, pitches in the dirt, throw down is not in time. So Hixenbaugh has his second stolen base of the day and moves into scoring position for Vigil, who is 0 for 1 today. A walk in the second, later scored. A strikeout looking in the third, and then a RBI sacrifice fly in the 5th.
When you're playing these early few games, you're going to see guys like Hixenbaugh have the green light in essentially every time they're on first base.
We saw that a lot last year with Hixenbaugh, too. He jumped out to an early lead and the strikeout leader for the Blues as Vigil takes ball too high. He's quick out there. He's about 5'11", 6 foot, but he can just fly around the bases with his lanky legs. Vigil turns at the pitch, but it is in there for a called strike, 2-1.
Vio's had a long day at the plate. He's had to try to block a couple of balls, try to frame a few, get out of the squat for a few, and hit, too. He's been using all parts of his body today.
He finds himself ahead in the count, 3-1 here, with Cuccia waiting on deck. Slightly closed from the right side, waggles his bat, takes ball 4 up near his head. A little 2-out rally brewing here for the Blues, as now they have 2 on with 2 out for Cuccia, who also recorded his first hit in a Blues uniform earlier today in the 3rd inning on an RBI single that scored Hixenbaugh, who stands on second.
And I think the Blues desperately need some fireworks right now. You got some motion going on the base paths, back-to-back base runners with 2 gone. You got Cuccia up, the former walk-off hero last Memorial Day. He's got his first base hit in the 3rd that drove a run. You almost want to just pass the baton to E.J. Royal, who's reached on base twice today and lined one hard to the center fielder.
Cuccia can also get it done with the stick. We've seen it multiple times. That one, a slider that he pops into center field. Had a good sound off the bat, but not a great launch angle, and that will end the inning. The Blues strand 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. They got 6 more outs to get 5 runs here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network.
aren't hitting, dude. What happens?
New pitcher for the Blues. It's a lefty, Raf Chiarella. Wearing number 6, the lefty. From Alan Hancock. Throws a first pitch. His first pitch is a ball at 85 miles an hour.
He's come from a long way out in the desert of Las Vegas, Nevada, a graduate of Bishop Gorman High School, one of the more popular sports programs out in the desert in Las Vegas. 6.26 earned run average last season for the Bulldogs.
3 pitches, 3 balls to start his outing.
Looks like he redshirted his first year at Allen Hancock and then sort of had a rough go in his redshirt freshman season, but last year straightened it out a bit. 27 and a third innings pitched, the most innings he has pitched in his collegiate career, 24 strikeouts, 19 earned runs for that aforementioned 6.26 ERA.
Not a great start to his Blues summer as he gives up a 4-pitch walk. Another guy for the Blues on a 2-week contract. As his 5th pitch of his outing is also a ball. 5 straight balls to get it going for Raf Chiarella. As Parker Romney, who pinch hit in the 6th, is in the box. He had a base hit and later scored. The University of Pacific. Throw over to first. No avail.
Romney had a pretty solid career with the Mustangs at San Joaquin Delta with his tick below 300 average at 299. 365 on base and kind of struggled at the next level at UOP.
Another fastball misses outside.
Hitting well below the Mendoza line at 114 on the batting average and 44 at bats. He can fly though.
Can fly. 7 straight balls for Chiarella to start and just gotta attack the zone and make these hitters work.
If I'm Chiarella, I'm slowing down my tempo right now. He's trying to work quick, but I think it's getting to his head too much.
Another ball. Back-to-back walks, both on 4 pitches, and very quickly there are two runners on with nobody out.
Yeah, and it seems like he's just kind of hastily throwing his pitches up there, just trying to get through these at-bats. And Henderson calls timeout and has a meeting at the mound with the young southpaw Chiarella. Was eligible to transfer to a new school after redshirting his first season at Allen Hancock and playing in 2 official years for the Bulldogs, looking for a new university.
It'll now be Polasek. Polasek, one of the few hitters left in this lineup who started the day for the Kings. He is 3 for 5, has yet to score a run, but has been stranded at third 3 times. He scores the bunt, pulls it back, pitches high, ball 1. He had a double in the first, a single in the third, and a single in the 6th. Shows again and a generous called strike after throwing 9 balls to start the inning.
Funny seeing him squirt around here with runners on first and second. You're already up by 5 runs, and this has been arguably your best hitter in the lineup today. A 3 for 5 day with a double.
Squares, gets it down. That's a pretty good bunt, but just barely rolls foul. Kirstling will glove it in foul ground. And now Polasek will most likely swing it in a 1-2 count, excuse me.
I would guarantee he's swinging it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to bunt. You got 3 hits already today. You're up 5. You're not bunting a ball and possibly bunting it foul.
I'm not showing bunt in the first place. We're playing summer ball.
Yeah. That one is fouled and tipped off the glove of Vigil. The only thing I could think of is maybe His college coach instructed him to become a better bunter while he was here, but I feel like that's something you can work on, at practice or in the off season or during some live at-bats, not, during a summer ball game. Swung on and fouled back again.
And that's not an invalid thing to say, Ryan. That's a ask of many college coaches, and I will never understand why they ask that. You pay money, you travel, you play hours you don't want to bunt?
Yeah.
I'm swinging.
He swings here and chops it to the middle. O'Hara to Henderson. Henderson not in time to first. As Comerford comes off the bag, but the Blues do get it out at second base. It'll be a 6-4 ground out. Fielder's choice, excuse me.
And finally, the Blues getting out in this inning. I mean, it's a little unconventional, but at least they got one on the board. But at what cost? There's runners on first and third now.
O'Hara getting readjusted to this infield here at Sinsheimer, but I would like to see him charge that ball a little bit more. Made it really difficult to turn two because he kind of, sat back on it, let it come to him. Come another step or two, and it gives Henderson a better chance to roll that up and get you just one out away from ending the inning.
Yeah, he remembers what it's like. He's played at Sinsheimer before, a hard surface on the dirt. He kind of waited for that one to come to him.
0-1, a called strike. Fastball misses outside, 2-1. Polasek stands on first. He reached on a fielder's choice. Romney stands on third. He reached via a walk. Runner goes. They haven't picked off. Comerford to O'Hara, and he applies the tag on the helmet to get the second out.
That's a well-executed play that time. No overthinking, and it makes it easier when the runner, Polasek, just takes off towards second and doesn't get caught in the middle. Comerford takes his time with the throw. It looked like he wanted to throw it a little sooner than he did, but you never know. It could have been sailed to the outfield the way it was kind of hastily thought to send it over to O'Hara. Does a nice job putting down the tag. That was just a well-executed pick-off that time for the Blues.
It almost looked like something they've had time to practice, which is probably not the case. But Comerford, who's pretty new to playing first base as well, did a really good job there to just slow everything down.
Brendan primarily played third base for the Blues last summer and did so at Ohlone as well.
Official attendance number just came out, and Nate, we were talking about how packed it was earlier, and It sure was as ball 4 to A.J. Martinez. 1,898.
Whoa!
Our 2025 summer record so far.
That's insane.
It's a really good turnout for a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's a little chilly, but the wind, especially down in the orange row, not really blowing too hard. As the first pitch nicks Gio Martini, and he will reach base safely on the hit by pitch. The third time he has reached base today.
Yeah, just kind of clipped that time, and a nice bounce back after getting 2 strikeouts in a row in his 2 plate appearances. Really, Curella has just had such a difficult inning. Luckily, it hasn't scarred too much so far. I mean, 3 walks and a hit by pitch. It's not a fun time.
Theo Thompson comes up. He took over for Wilford. First pitch is a called strike. In the 7th, he had a base hit, stole second, reached third on a wild pitch, and then a really good job from Bagby to strike out 2 and pop out to make sure that runner got stranded at third. That one flared down the left field line. And foul.
Theo Thompson at Ohlone College and his senior season at Albany High School, located near Berkeley, California. 7 home runs in 25 games played. That's legit, man.
Yeah, that is pretty legit for a high schooler.
6 doubles and a triple, too.
Yeah, slugging.
691.
Oh, yeah. That's a number I like to see. But he stares at strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 walks, a hit by pitch, but no damage done. All 3 runners stranded on base. As the Blues have some work to do, they have 6 outs to do it as they trail by 5. Welcome back to the Slow Blues streaming network. Blues trail by 5 as I remind you that this half inning is brought to you by SLO County Golf. They offer 3 courses in SLO, Morro Bay, and Atascadero. They offer a unique combination of beautiful scenery and affordable prices. Book your next tee time at slowcountygolf.com. As E.J. Royal steps in, Blues still trail by 5. First pitch to him, big looping curveball from the new pitcher. The new pitcher is Brady Spencer out of Westmont, known teammate of Hunter Hammond, who started this game for the Blues. He has to face arguably the hardest part of this order with EJ as another breaking ball misses, followed by O'Hara and then Comerford. The 3 of them have reached base safely 7 times in their 12 plate appearances. That pitch is swung on, hit pretty well into right field, and is going to drop in front of Pulisek. A leadoff knock for E.J. Royal, and Nate, it's his first one of the summer, and I think he has about 40 more in him.
Oh, there's many more to come. It's so good to see him back. I miss seeing all those line drives into shallow right center field, left center field. He gets one into right that time, and many more to come for E.J. Royal. Welcome back to the Blues.
A little more on Brady Spencer. Did not pitch much this season at Westmont. Only threw a third of an inning and gave up 2 runs while he was out there, a walk and a home run. Well, looking to have a bounce-back summer as chopped by O'Hara. Tough play, good glove, but that throw is way offline. It's going to be a hit and then an error. EJ is rounding third. He's heading to the plate. The throw not in time. O'Hara makes it all the way to third. He's thinking about more, but he decides to stay there. O'Hara coming through for the Blues with the single and a run for the Blues as they cut the lead 2-4.
There you go, Kate. A couple of knocks and 2 plate appearances in a row. How about a 270-foot single? Got the single, advanced to second on an error, and then advanced to third on the throw. Either way, it scores E.J. Royal, makes it an 11-7 game.
Now it's Comerford, as that ball is ripped into center field. Going to his right and catching it is Romney, but tagging up is O'Hara. And the Blues have cut the lead to 3 now as the bases are empty. A well-hit ball by Comerford as he has his 4th RBI of the day.
A pitch at 89 miles an hour, and Comerford tagged this one into left center field. Able to handle that one was the center fielder for the Kings and Romney, and O'Hara got a nice jump off the bag too at third. He was able to cruise into home.
And 91 off the bat for Comerford. He is just seeing the ball so well. He had that at bat where he struck out on 3 pitches, but outside of that, 6-pitch RBI single, and then a 4-pitch 2 RBI single, and then a 5-pitch single, and then right there attacks the first pitch and hits it really hard. Don Jordan also would like to hit the ball really hard. We mentioned that every time he's been up, he told it to us on opening day. He told Nate told him the ball doesn't really fly here, and he said, I'll make the ball fly. And then today his attitude changed a little bit. He's like, I just want to hit the ball hard. I don't care where it goes. I just want to hit it hard. 1-1 misses down and away, 2-1.
And you can see that in his work and batting practice, just trying to spray it to all fields, almost have boring BP. That's when you know you're going well. You're just lining it back to the L screen, lining it into the gaps. Nothing that's really going to impress anyone, but it's productive.
Chopped back to the pitcher, and he will flip it to first. Spencer to Martini for the second out of the inning.
And a lot of those results that we've seen so far from Don Jordan, a bunch of high choppers back up the middle to the corner parts of the infield. That bat angle is just a little too steep for him right now. I'd like to see him work on elevating the baseball a little bit more, and we know he has the power to hit it far into the gaps, and so why not try to elevate that ball a bit more? But I guess that goes back to the work he puts in batting practice.
First pitch to Kiesling is a ball. And Don was also telling us prior to the game that he missed a ton of time this season. He didn't play in the spring, but he was injured in the fall as that one is fouled off. And then also in the spring, he fractured a hand, and then broke one of his ribs. So he missed some time this year. So this is his 3rd game back seeing live at-bats. So he's, trying to understand, or he's trying to get back into the feel of, playing in a full game, as well as, he is playing in a new atmosphere that he has never played in before. So getting used to that is a big shift for him as well.
And those are some brutal injuries, too. The hamate bone is no joke. I mean, a lot of it is you'll get a lot of non-contact hamate injuries where it's on the swing and you break your hamate bone. A lot of it it's like a freak accident. You get over that and then you injure a rib, which that's not easy to deal with, too. That you feel that in everything you do, whether it's getting out of bed or tying your shoe or swinging a baseball bat.
3-1 swung on, fouled back over the porta potties to our right. The count runs full with 2 outs to Kiesling.
You just wanted to say porta potties, Ryan.
I mean, that's where it went. It's a fun word to say, though, we'll say. Here's the pitch. Ball 4, his second walk of the day. As a 2-out base runner for Eli Henderson, who one of those guys, a 2-week player here for the Blues. But he is looking for his first hit right here. Could come at a big time. The Blues would like to sketch across another run in this inning, if possible. And if Henderson can reach, you have Jake Hicksonbaugh, who already has 2 hits today on deck. Knows how to hit the ball very well at Sinsheimer. First pitch to Henderson is a ball down.
And Eli has shown his skill at second base with the glove and his arm. And now is waiting for that to show through with the bat.
That one is hit hard, but right at the first baseman, Martini, and that will do it for the inning. The Blues do get 2 runs, however. They still trail by 3 as the Kings have one more chance to add on some more insurance runs here on the SLO Blues streaming network. New noodle for the Blues in the top of the 9th inning. It's Zach Savino. First pitch from him is a called strike around the knees to unknown hitter batting from the left side wearing number 50, 88 miles an hour from Savino. Fastball misses down at 89. The high school senior, 15 innings this year, gave up 5 earned runs, good for a 2.33 ERA with a 1-1 record, 18 strikeouts to 16 walks. Also had a save this past season.
Not bad production.
No, you'd like to see those walk numbers, decrease a little bit, but 18 strikeouts in 15 innings, only 5 earned runs. It's pretty solid, and he throws the ball relatively hard for a graduating senior, sitting in the high 80s. Down in the dirt, even up to the count at 2-2.
The Blues have kept it within a 3-run game after adding 2 more in the 8th.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 89-mile-an-hour fastball there from Zavino to the first strikeout of the inning, and that is the 3rd strikeout for this mystery man who came in for Shane Saunders.
Yeah, Savino just blew the heater right by him, elevated fastball, and 50 went right after it.
There's Montero, who struck out on 3 pitches his last time. First off-speed pitch we've seen from Savino is a slider for a called strike.
The stuff is there from Savino.
Yeah.
I can see the vision for sure.
A swing and a miss on a high heat, and Nate, what's that?
Hot sauce coming up.
Or a pitch away from our 11th bottle of hot sauce being given out.
There we go.
That one not going to be hot sauce this time, as Comerford is going to field the fly right on top of the bag and then use everything he has in his arm to send the ball to O'Hara at shortstop.
Yeah, Blues are just trying to get the bats back in their hands. Top of the 9th inning here. You're now trailing by 3 against the Kings. A chance to have some magic here, but first, Savino's got to get through this lineup. I like the high fastball, the elevated or the upper 80s in the fastball velo. Good slider, too.
That fastball, he just pulled it, missed away. And it's now becoming one of the hardest part of the night to see the baseball because the big trees that we have out down the first baseline are covering up the pitcher, but only the pitcher. So the ball starts in the shade and then comes into the sun as well. There's a white backdrop past the center field wall that makes it even harder to see the ball. As they're making quick work of the first 2 batters. It is quickly 3-0 to Benji O'Rourke, who has walked twice already today. And a 4-pitch walk to O'Rourke.
That on-base percentage for Ben O'Rourke is just skyrocketing today with those 3 walks. Tagged a ball into left field in the 5th, but other than that, hasn't really had much of an opportunity to square something up.
Yeah, he also had that hit by pitch, which will help that on-base percentage as well.
Right.
So his batting average is 0, but his on-pace percentage is .667, as that one is fouled back to the netting by Joaquin Stewart. He came in the 6th, had a really good at-bat where he saw 10 pitches and then popped out in foul territory, and then a 4-pitch walk in the 8th, to start the day for Chiarella. That one misses just off the plate. The count evens up at 1-1. That one is hit softly into right field. Jordan's going to have to play it on a hop. He knocks it down and keeps it in front of him, and that'll keep the runners at first and second. Another 2-out base runner for the Kings as they have a runner in scoring position now, and they flip it back over to Parker Romney.
Yeah, Savino's got the stuff. He's just got to bottle up these hitters as soon as possible. You can't afford to have the Kings to get some 2-out magic here. They scored in 6 consecutive innings, and the Blues have stopped the bleeding with 2 goose eggs in a row. And now that you've brought it within 3 runs, you'd like Savino to trust the fastball and trust the slider and try to get these guys out. Unfortunately, Park Romney is up, and he's one of the better hitters on this team.
1 for 1 today after replacing D'Amelio in the 6th inning. He was stranded at third after he walked last inning, which was the 8th. And then he had a single and later scored on an error in the 6th.
Certainly has some of the best potential on this team. He struggled at UOP, but a great career with the Mustangs at San Joaquin Delta.
Swing and a miss. 88-mile-an-hour fastball and an ugly swing. So fans are chirping for their hot sauce. Could be the last opportunity for hot sauce to be given out here in the top of the 9th. 2 on, 2 outs, and an 0-2 count. Good pitch, but misses just low. Another high-velocity fastball.
And mature offering that time to Park Romney, and an even better take from a guy who's played at the Division I level.
Half swing. They're going to say he went at the plate, and that will do it for the inning. 2 base runners reach with 2 outs, but they are stranded at first and second. The Blues are looking to make a comeback here in the bottom of the 9th inning. They trail by 3. It'll be Hicksonbaugh, Vigil, Cuccia after these. Hicksonbaugh to lead it off as the Blues are looking for some magic here on a beautiful Sunday evening. Temperatures dropping just below 60 degrees, but the sun is still shining as shade starts to consume the field. First pitch is a called strike around the knees. A fastball at 86 miles an hour from Brady Spencer, who's out there for his 2nd inning of work. Slider, a called strike as well, and quickly Hicksonbaugh falls behind 0-2, and you would love a leadoff base runner here. Trailing by 3. You're not going to get it all in one swing right now, but you can get on and just move the line. That would be huge for the Blues. Off-speed pitch, and Hicksonbaugh goes down looking. He doesn't agree with it, but a called strike 3 on a pitch that started off the plate and slid its way back in. The Now it is Vigil.
Yeah, certainly a strike three to Jake Hicksenbaugh. I understand it's a pitch you don't like when you're in a situation like the Blues are right now, trailing 3 and you're in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 strikes. You got to expand your zone a little bit. Hicksenbaugh missed out on that time and watched strike 3 go by.
Vigil steps in. He is 0 for 1 as he takes a first pitch strike. He walked, struck out, sac fly, walk. 4 plate appearances, but only 1 recorded at bat, and it was a strikeout. Check swing off the hands for strike 2. Behind in the count, 1-2. Spencer's offering to the plate a curveball that never quite curved. Here's the 2-2. That one also misses high, a fastball at 86 miles an hour. And Vigil, who has been really patient at the plate all day long, has worked himself into another 3-ball count. This is the fourth 3-ball count he has seen today, but he does have 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Vigil thought it was ball 4. He tossed the bat away. He comes back to the umpire a few steps and wants to talk with him about it, and he is hearing it from the fans.
And I just talked about expanding the zone with Jake Hicksenbaugh and the kind of the situation you're in. That pitch is not a strike. You're not expanding the zone out that wide. I mean, that's on the other chalk.
Yeah. Here's Cuccia, 1 for 4, RBI knock in the 3rd. First pitch is a ball outside, very similar spot to what Hicksenbaugh got rang up on.
I'm Caden. I'm trying to do anything. I'm getting up on the plate. I'm taking my hit by pitches. I'm expanding my zone, especially if I got E.J. Royal on deck.
According to our technologies, that strike 3 called was about a ball off the plate, so 2 or 3 inches away. But it's kind of been consistently an outside zone, especially to righties. The outside part of the plate, or the outside pitch, has been called a strike a good amount. 2-0 is right there. 2-1. Cuccia is, I feel like, at least in our minds, pretty famously known for his late inning heroics, and although cannot walk it off for the Blues right here, could start something in the 9th as pitch misses inside. 3-1.
We've seen the Blues' fair share of 2-out rallies. We saw one last night against the Dodgers. Why not here?
Blues scored a run with 2 outs as well in the 2nd inning as a walk to Cuccia has the Blues in business, as it's now E.J. Royal, probably the toughest hitter in this lineup to face. Today he recorded his first hit of the 2025 summer in the blue and yellow in the 8th. He later scored. And as well, he walked in the 1st, was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, grounded out to the pitcher, and hit a sharp fly ball to center in the 6th. He takes a first pitch strike right around the knees. Again, he can't walk it off for the Blues. He can't even tie it for that matter. But what he can do is get on and move it along to Cade O'Hara and Brendan Comerford, who have combined for 5 hits today. He swings at that one. Started a little bit early, didn't see the off speed out of the hand, and was just able to foul it at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on. A lazy fly ball, going to be playable for the shortstop, Bode, and that will do it for the game. The Blues get 2 in the 8th, but are unable to complete the comeback as they lose 11-8 for their first loss of the season. Nate, what did you see from the offense in today's ballgame?
Oh, for the Blues, it's kind of just the same old, right? I mean, they've just had their fair share of offensive struggles so far, and except for the first time this season, it's resulted in a loss. They were able to get away with it with the Coastal Dodgers, but not scoring up baseballs bit them in the rear end in the end of it all. Brendan Comerford, though, finally coming around and piecing some things up pretty well, and so that was good to see out of Become. And Kate O'Hara collecting 2 base hits as well, albeit not necessarily barreled up super hard, but the fact that he was just able to find a gap or find some sort of hole and get on base somehow has got to be a good start for him in this summer. It's got to feel good and all the things he's working towards, and hopefully it's a sign for good things to come ahead. In 2 or in 3, you got to mention E.J. Royal getting his first base knock in the Blues uniform too in 2025, serving a base hit into shallow right field. That's the sight we're going to get used to seeing too.
Yeah, I think the one thing that really stands out to me in today's ballgame, the Blues had 8 hits, but 5 of them came from their top 3 hitters, which means 4 through 9 only recorded 3 hits. Also, those runners, those 1 through 3, E.J. Royal, Kate O'Hara, and Brendan Comerford recorded 4 of the runs, as well 5 of the RBIs. So that the top 3 really produced all the offense and couldn't get a lot of help from the bottom of the order. So I think it just needs to be more consistent 1 through 9 for the Blues to be able to come out in games like this where it's kind of a slugfest. You know, you had 11 runs scored in just the first 2 innings, and the final score being 11-8. You know, the Blues just need more contributions up and down the line. But then on the other side of the ball, pitchers did a pretty good job today at times, especially early. Hunter Hammond got pieced up a little bit, but hard to do anything when your defense has 5 errors behind you. Yeah, I was just going to say, the offense is one thing, and it's something that can be corrected. There's a lot of time to do that. Same thing with the pitching, which has been solid, a little bit too much of a plate for these opposing hitters. But the most glaring issue is that defense. You cannot win games if you're putting up 5 errors. The Blues put up 3 last night. Luckily, they got away with it because they had so many runs already on the board. But the defense has really got to tighten up, especially if they're heading into CCL North play. I know it's slightly inferior to the CCL South. You don't have teams like the Foresters as much, or even the Saints or the Oaks, who are the CCL reigning champions. But, I mean, if you give Sonoma Stompers 5 errors, I mean, they're going to beat you every single time. I mean, if you give most teams 5 errors, they're going to beat you every single time. So just making sure you know where you're going with the ball, communicating as much as possible. I also understand, too, that it's summer ball, and these guys are kind of meeting each other for the first time. Yeah. The chemistry is not there at all, but at the end of the day, whether you know the guys you're playing with since birth or you met them that day, they've known this stuff since travel ball, Ryan. They've got to talk to each other and know their roles when they're playing on defense. Yeah, and I mean, most of the errors aren't even like, you know, I want to say like complicated errors. Like it's just like we're missing a throw to first. That's, you know, a foot in front of Comerford, and it's a tough scoop for him, or, you know, just silly mistakes like that are costing us. Like the Don Jordan one. That's an easy ball. You just got to throw back into the infield. And instead, he sails the catcher and allows both base runners to move up 90 feet, and you give up a run. Things that just, you know, can't happen when you're playing good teams, especially in the North, like the Stompers and the Crawdads. And, you know, once that league play starts, hopefully we have the full roster here, and they can clean all that up and those error numbers go down, because it's something we saw last year too. A lot of errors early in the season, but cleaned up by the time league came around. All right, well, that is going to do it from Sinsheimer here on the Central Coast. The Blues lose their first game of the season. They fall to 2-1, but the Kings will be back here tomorrow with a 2 o'clock start for Mimosa Monday. Yeah, baby. Get hype, as you can still get tickets online at bluesbaseball.com. If you can't make it, Nate and I will be right here on the Slow Blue Streaming Network with our pregame show starting at 1:45. That's going to do it for Nate Mills. I'm Ryan Giacomini here on the Slow Blue Streaming Network.